How's everybody doing? This is a live show. And you know what? How's everybody doing? People wanted to see this in just 1 minute. People wanted to see this in one. This is, you know what, people ask me, you know what, we dispersed all. This is Clifton Raheem Bradley out of Chicago, and I do a television show called The Underground Railroad. It comes on every Saturday night at 10:30. And you know what? People, they want to see this. They told me because we did a video about violence in Chicago and releasing Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford, who used to be, Jeff Ford used to be the leader of the RUKNS in Chicago. He's locked up. And Larry Hoover. And people just said, I want to see this again. And you know what I always told myself? This is, you know what? This is y'all show. So what, with no further ado, you know what? I'm going to share that broadcast. That's what I'm going to do. You know, if I'm allowed to. You know, I'm going to share this broadcast. And I probably take telephone calls, but the thing is, I probably will more or less take them, but I won't interrupt the broadcast. Okay? How's everybody doing? Assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Clifton Raheem Bradley from out of Chicago, the United States of America. And tonight, this afternoon, we're doing a show talking about the violence in Chicago and how we can make it better. Okay, and the two men behind me are former leader of gangs, brother Jeff Ford of the RUKNS and Larry Hoover of the GD's Texas Disciples. And you know what, man? I had so many people listen to the show. You know what, man? I just had to do it again. I had to. You know what? I'm sorry about the little light on the side of me that's flickering on and all, but I told y'all that this platform, I'm working to get this platform better and better and better and better, but it's not what it should be yet. And you know what I want to say? Put in a quick message. People that like this content, share this content, make comments. And if you want this platform to be better, make a donation. I don't care if it's $1, a quarter, to help me to build a studio because this is the type of information that I want to disseminate. I want to disseminate this type of information to the people. This is what I want to do. And you know what? I need your help. But to get your help, you know what? This is something I have to do. I have to give you the content that you want. No, not what I want. It's not about what I want. And I'm going to send another link to my guest. Okay. He should be coming in. Okay. Right. He should be coming in right now. I'll just send him a link. But you know what? The violence in Chicago, you know what? That's rough in Chicago. And you know what? These two gentlemen that are locked up, that are incarcerated in prison right now, they have the ability to minimize. Nobody can stop the criminal activity that is going on in Chicago. Nobody can stop that. You know what? But you know what? It might be one individual, some individuals that might say, you know what? Cuz Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover used to be leaders of these gangs. I'm gonna honor that. I'm gonna honor that. You know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna go back and get an education. You know what? I'm not gonna go out tonight and go through with this gang initiation thing and kill somebody. I hurt somebody to be accepted. I'll call my guest because I don't understand why he is not calling me. And you know what? I know this is not simple to do this on the app, but I'm waiting on him. Yeah, waiting on you to get in, my bro. Oh, listen, I just sent you another email, bro. Yeah. Okay, no problem. It's a link right to where I am. Okay. All right. Okay. This tech, you know what? People are still getting used to this technology, man. This technology is awesome. And you know what? I want to say something to all the people on YouTube that had anything about teaching somebody about green screen, teaching somebody how to edit properly when it comes to green screens and lighting. I want to thank them, even though I got like a little C on it, because you see the little marks over there, but that's only because I have to get more likes. And people that made donations, hey, I appreciate it. I thank you. I thank you very much. But like I say, there's so much chaos going on in the United States that is going on in Chicago. And it's sickening to me. It is just sickening to me. It's sickening to me. You know what? It's sickening when I look, go over the weekend, and I see that there were people that were murdered. And you know what? And it's sad, man, to know that there are kids that will not make it. Whatever weekend, they just won't make it. And you know what? It's saddening to me. It is saddening to me. And I know that the preacher can talk. The preacher can talk to people. I know that. And the thing is, the imam. People that don't know what an imam is a leader of a community of Muslims, just like a preacher is a leader of a community that are Christians. A priest can talk to the young people. But you know what? There's some people that they are not going to be able to reach because, thank you, Richard Smith. That's a brother. That's a brother. I told him that was my first boss. Guy made me I gotta have him on the show. The guy had me deliver newspapers. He said, "Man, I'm gonna give you 10 cents a newspaper." I said, "Okay." Then it turned out to be a nickel. He said, "Wait a minute, man, some papers did this." Richard Smith is a good guy, real good guy. Pam, and his mother and father. Thank you, brother, for listening. I got total respect for you. When I sent you that message, you was my first boss. You was my first boss outside of my family. And Richard Smith, I never forget that you told me something about business.
You and Dwayne, and Steve, and Joe, and Pee Wee. Good brothers. Good brothers. But I am waiting. I'm waiting on my guests to come in. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it, brother. You know, I like to have you on the show to talk about old times, to talk about how things used to be. I have a call. Yes, hello. Now, I sent you. Hold on for a minute. I sent you the link, bro. You okay? You got to be kidding, man. Okay, so you know what? What happened is my guest is trying to get in, and I don't know if it's because of the subject matter that we are discussing, where the powers of be are saying IBDAM that you talk about Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford. I don't know. You know, I don't know. So, you know, can you want me to send you the link one more time, my brother? Because I know I see you hear me. But I'm gonna send you the link again, okay? I'm just gonna send the link. We are having a rough time. Okay. I'm gonna send you the link one more time. I don't know. It may be about the subject matter, but I'm sending you the link one more time, okay? And make sure, A, okay, it's 1977. Damn, that's it. That's the link right there. I'll be waiting for you, okay? Okay. See, I don't know what's going on. You know what? I sent the gentleman the link, and you know what's strange? Me and him we had done things over the internet and haven't had any problems, no problems whatsoever. And like I say, I believe that it's because of the content that we are talking about. I believe if we were sitting up here singing and dancing and having a good time, talking about the Chicago Bulls and talking about the Blackhawks and talking about a yo-yo, I do not believe that we would be experiencing these difficulties. Just the fact that these gentlemen pictures are up in the background, bringing attention to them. You know what? Somebody is not happy with that. You know, somebody is not happy with that. And you know what? And you don't believe, you know what? You may be saying, man, what's wrong with you? You know, conspiracies, there is a such thing as conspiracies. Not going to talk about the virus. I'm not going to talk about that because you know what? That can cause some problems. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk about 9/11. 9/11 is considered a conspiracy by some. You know, and there are many things that are going on that a lot of people don't know anything about because you know what? They are busy doing things that they think are good. And there's nothing wrong with looking at the football game because you know what? I have to admit, I would be looking at the football game tonight if I wasn't doing this. Okay? That's what I would be doing. But you know what? But you have to become a critical thinker. And by becoming a critical thinker, you must read. You must obtain knowledge. You must go to the library. You must go on the internet and search groups. I mean, you know, the type of things that I learned, I didn't learn in school, like about Columbus, about President Lincoln, that A lot of people don't understand about President Lincoln. He never really wanted to free the slaves. This is documented proof. He said that if I could end this war without breaking up the Union, I would. You know, and you know what? It's a whole lot of what you will call conspiracies, but there's reality to those conspiracies, like Illuminati. Everybody knows about the Illuminati. The Illuminati exists. Okay, the Night of the Templars, that exists. That exists. But like I said, but a lot of people, when you know what's funny to me is when I ask somebody what's going on, you know what? They be like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. And you know what? What's scary about it? They really don't know. But they know about trivial things that don't even matter. We start to talk about the Chicago Bulls or the Blackhawks, Dancing with the Stars, but there's all type of hell that's going on around them. And the very people that they elect to look out for their best interests, they fight against their interests. You know, I'm gonna try to call my guest one more time. I know it's not protocol for me to be doing this on now, but this is not Channel 7 or anything like that. And I'm trying to understand why. I don't get it. Yeah, hello? Okay. Oh, you know what? You know what? Do me a favor. Restart your computer. Restart. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get off. You know what? My guest is having a hard time getting in because you know what? He is a proponent of letting Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford out of jail. He is a proponent. And you know what? A lot of y'all may not know in LA, you might be seeing this in history. In LA, Kanye West is going to do a concert in California to raise money to get Larry Hoover out of jail right now. You know, they're saying, but like I said, someone probably disagrees with me. Somebody is saying, you know what, man? Why would you let these two gentlemen out of jail? Why? And like I said, I go back to what I originally said, that there are people that have done things that have been horrible, but they were given a second opportunity. I'm not going to say why. Okay? But they have been given a second opportunity. Just like the Iran-Contra situation, where Oliver North was running guns to the Sandinistas in a war, and they gave him a slap on the hand. Now, this is an illegal activity. It's illegal activity. You gave him a slap on the hands. He was running guns, and President Reagan. Now, this is documented. This is not something that I am making up. This is documented proof that he was running guns. Okay, it's like President Bush. You know what? Let me say one thing is, you know what? I love the United States of America. And you know what? I was in the military. But you know what? Who's to say where if you see things going on in your country that you cannot say anything about it when you have documented proof to prove that? Who? I fought for those rights. Now, somebody may say, you know what, I just go too far. And I guess I do go too far, because when you talk about that, President Bush and what he did, there were no weapons of mass destruction. Okay, here's my guess right now. Man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine this evening. Yourself?
Do you hear me well?
Yes, sir. I got to turn you off on the phone.
I hope it's not bad. I hope it's not bad on YouTube.
No, I'm turning you off on the phone.
Okay. And you know what? This is the gentleman that I have been. This is the gentleman that I have been waiting for. You got to turn yours down. You got to turn it down. I can hear the feedback.
Yeah, I'm turning it off.
And we're getting used to these captions. Okay. And you know what? First of all, I guess I'll start the show all over again. I can't start it over again, but you know what? I'm going to give an introduction. Okay. I have Brother Antonio, who is from Chicago, that is an advocate of letting Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover out of jail. Okay. And I'm going to say this real quick. If you like this, share it with somebody. And help my platform by making a donation. Because you know what? Every donation that has been made to me, I put it back into my platform, because to give you information like this. So everybody has a different mission. So, brother, you know what? Introduce yourself to the people and tell them about your company and about yourself before we get started.
My name is Antonio McClinton, and I'm an advocate for freedom and injustice for Larry Hoover, and also Jeff Ford. But for Larry Hoover, he's I'm a member of Growth and Development, and that's pretty much it. I'm here for the fight.
You know what is you said what's going on? You want to know what's going on? Somebody put something in there, Mr. Mars Floyd. We're talking about Jeff Ford, the leader the former leader of the RUKNS, and Larry Hoover of the Gangster Disciples. These are gangs in Chicago, but they're locked up. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Right now, Larry Hoover is no longer part of Gangster Disciples. He's growth and development. And we're righteous brothers and sisters living a positive and productive life in society that's out here to make a change and we take care of our family. Like, it's nothing to hide. There's nothing gang related about it or anything. It's a righteous movement. Just to and then you could be black, you could be white, you could be GD, you could be BD, you could be whatever. As long as you live a righteous life, not out here selling drugs, shooting, killing, and just being a productive part of society. And that's pretty much what the blueprint and the teachers are of growth and development. Stand up and be accounted for as a man or a woman, and take care of your business and live a righteous life.
You know what? I would like to ask you something, because I am sure there's an audience out there that is listening, and they do not even know about Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford. And can you give us a synopsis of both of them, please?
We can sum it up like they're two brothers back in the 60s and the 70s, and that were out here that formed gangs. It was gangs. It wasn't just pretty much to feed their family and take care of the community. You know what I'm saying? And it is no different from the Italians, no different from the Polish, and no different from the Dailies. And they had everybody had their little organizations and their groups where they took care of their neighborhood or they took care of their people. You know what I'm saying? That's just what these brothers did. They did the same thing they did, but it got kind of out of hand when they took them out of the equation of the mobs. of the organizations, you know. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got
But those organizations were originally started to help the community and police your community and feed the homeless and just help your people because it was a lot of our people living in poverty, so they just found another way out. You know what I'm saying? Another way to not only help themselves and feed their family, but feed other families. You know what I'm saying? But it's no different from what the Polish and the Italians and everybody else did. They just did
the hamburger gang.
Yeah, the hamburger gang. Yeah. But they didn't give them a chance like the hamburger gang had a chance to make it a righteous movement because they locked them up. You know what I'm saying? They locked them up.
And for people that do not know about Chicago, in the United States, there was a gang called the Hamburger Gang. Okay, you can read the book called The Boss and get other information about Mayor Daley. Mayor Daley used to be in the Hamburger Gang, and he was the mayor of Chicago. And Michael Madigan, according to what some say, that's an allegation that he was in the Hamburger Gang, but he rose to be Speaker of the House.
But do you really think that they're not still part of the Hamburger Gang, or they're not going to expose it to you or present it to the world? But you know, I really think in my mind they are still involved because the political machine is like they always have been involved with some type of they won't call it a mob, but they stick together like a mob, don't they? They stick together when it come down to voting and whatever. They had their sides of who they pick and choose and who want to, you know what I'm saying? So I just think they just cleaned it up. That's what I think.
You got a question in the chat room, okay? Okay, I've been seeing a few celebrities in supporting they're supporting the cause. At least it's a good start.
Exactly.
Kanye West,
yeah,
a basketball player that had was on a podcast that has something good to say about Larry Hoover and the concert. So tell us about the people that supporting.
The people that supporting Kanye and Jay Prince and Drake going to help do with the concert. They are here to help bring awareness. You know what I'm saying? And we need that type of awareness so people won't forget that these brothers are still locked up in there. You know what I'm saying? We want to, with celebrity power, help shine the light. You know what I'm saying? The light that we and reach more people that we can't reach. You know what I'm saying? So, and they play a big part of it because they could reach way more with celebrity power, and all we're just doing is create awareness of what's going on with these brothers in there and how they're being mistreated and how the law is not working for them as opposed as of working for somebody else. They breaking the law to keep them in there. You know what I'm saying? So
go ahead.
So that's where we come with political prisoners of war, and that's what I call it because it's a war. You know what I'm saying? So I call them POWs, prisoners of war. Because we had a war trying to get them out right now.
Mm-hmm. We got something else in the chat room. They say Larry was smarter than Jeff. Now that's somebody that's trying to cause division. So I want to know if you want to address that.
I don't want to address that. I want to say nobody's smarter than the other person. I'm not going to dumb nobody down and say this person is smarter than him. Nobody's smarter than the other. You just got to obtain more. Somebody might just obtain more knowledge than the other person. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean smarter than it.
When you say that that's an individual that is a provocateur that may be wanted to cast doubt by inducing division.
And that was called division if I'd have answered it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So
but they thought we weren't smart enough to understand that. I You know what? Thank you for the question.
Right, thank you.
But you got something else, other question in here. Okay, it's kind of sad that Larry and Jeff couldn't transition into a higher position of power, just like old man Daly. Agree that it is no difference from the Polish.
Yeah, but had they been Polish, they probably wouldn't be in there. You know what I'm saying? Had they been another race, and I'm not saying that I'm prejudiced, but I'm just saying I'm just speaking black and white. You know what I'm saying? Had they been another race, they wouldn't be where they're at now. They'd probably be a mayor, or they'd probably be a politician, a senator, an alderman, or something right now. Because they fought, it was the same thing that the Hamburger Gang and the rest of them did. You know what I'm saying? So, but they want to punish our people because they don't want our people in real positions of power.
Okay. Got another question. I'm gonna get you to read the question. Okay, you're on the phone though, right? Okay. This one says white rulership couldn't allow guys like Jeff and Larry to help raise the bridge and the gap for blocks to flourish. Agree that we are in a war, but it is my option. It's a spirit of war.
Yeah,
I don't go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a spiritual war. You're exactly right. It's a spiritual war. Right now, it's a spiritual war with us. That's why I'm saying we got to stay positive. We can't be on the negative and try, oh, he's smarter than Larry. No, we're going to keep everything 100. We're going to keep everything positive. It is a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war, too. You know what I'm saying? So you're exactly right. He's right. He's right.
I mean, he brought up white rulership, but you know what? I don't really want to.
And it's not just white rulership. You know what I'm saying? It's not just white people ruling like it's because everybody nationality is not white. Just because their color is white, that don't mean they white. You know what I'm saying? So you got white Muslims and it's black people that's white. Albinos that look white. Somebody might come out white because they mix. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the people powers that be. That's what we're gonna say. Because there's black people in there too. Black people in there too. That could be the powers that be, but they just with somebody that's pretty much over them. But we're not gonna say it's white rulership because there's black people that got something to do with them staying in there too. You just can't put it off on white people like that. But back then, they seen what was happening. You probably could say that back then, but times has changed now. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay, we got another question in the chat room by Israel Judah, and he's saying, didn't Jeff Ford go to the inauguration?
I believe he did.
Okay, who? Tell me what's going on. I don't. Okay.
But I can't. I know he went to the White House.
Okay. He was invited to the White House.
Right, he was invited to the White House. But okay, I don't want to quote on that. But I know I don't know if it was for the inauguration or whatever it may be. But I know they was giving him government grants to operate, and also he was invited to the White House. I'm not sure if it was for the inauguration, but yes, he was. They were giving him government grants to operate, and he was invited to the White House. So he was dealing with the president, and he was in political. And he was dealing with politicians then. So yeah, but I'm not really sure if he went in there for the inauguration, but he did deal with them people like that.
I know he was. Okay, I'm talking about from my reading now. People correct me if I'm wrong. He was invited to go to the White House.
Yes, sir.
From my knowledge and what I read, he didn't go. And you know what? I don't know why, but that's what I read. And you know what? I
wasn't there because I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying? That was before my time. But I wasn't there, but you're exactly right.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to ask you something. What jail is Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford at?
At APX in Colorado.
Okay. APX. Well, you know what? They are political prisoners, in your opinion. And
Yes,
you
sir.
said that. Why do you say that?
Because the reason why they don't want to let I don't know exactly the reason why they don't want to let Mr. Jeff Ford out, but I know the reason why they don't want to let Mr. Larry Hoover out is because political reasons. When they seen what he did and he made all the brothers and they picked up everybody and start them to gather them up to go vote. To believe like Century 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they seen that okay, he got the power together and that could switch the whole political game. You know what I'm saying? They could switch the whole political game. And so it's like we really think that they don't want him out. Well, we know they don't want him out because of political reasons. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we call them prisoners of war. What you were saying, yeah, it's all political. It's not nothing that got anything to do with. He did his time. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Mr. Mr. Israel say he was set up. He was set up.
Who, Jeff Ford?
What I would like to ask you, what Mr. Judah is saying, I believe is correct, but you know what? I'm not the one being interviewed. There's a program called the Cointelpro, okay, that was set up by President Nixon and run by J. Edgar Hoover that set up and sent spies in the game. So do you think that the Cointelpro that they say this is not in existence anymore exists? If so, do you think it's a possibility that it's set up? The program by the CIA was set up to destroy Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford.
Yeah, and I think so. I don't think everybody that was involved with them was there for the right reasons or there to help them out. Those are called plants. You know what I'm saying? They put them in there to find out what's going on, and they create mutiny within the mob or set them up, just like he said. And I believe it was plants because it's too many people to when you dealing and you are in a higher position in an organization like that to watch everybody or to know everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's still going on to this day. It's still going on to this day. You probably got that. The family is so tight on who they deal with because they don't trust everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you something. Somebody out there does not know what the Cointelpro is. I know what it is, but I'm interviewing you. What is the Cointelpro, and how do they work in organizations to destroy it?
They put, and if you watch, I want to say, what was that movie? I think it was a movie back in the day called with Fred Hampton. They was, I can't remember the movie right now, but they'll put, and he's a CIA agent. You know what I'm saying? He's not a regular person. They'll put him in the mob to create mutiny or to sit there and listen to what's going on or to set the mob up or to destroy the mob or not the mob, but the organization, or they'll put somebody in there to like, yeah, I got somebody that got 50-round drum gun and he says he wants this much and we got to meet him over there. And the whole time it's the CIA. They put them plants in there to destroy within. You know what I'm saying? So, and it actually really be CIA agents. They could come in there and if they in there not right, the organization not right, and they drinking and smoking and doing that too. You know what I'm saying? They got to get your trust so you can actually fall for their tricks.
Mm-hmm. You know what? There's something in the chat room by Mr. Morris to say the Cointelpro was developed by Edgar G. Hoover to prevent the rise of a black messiah. Now, you know what? This is documented proof. Okay. This is not saying anything that we prejudice. That's documented proof. That's why the Cointelpro was developed by Hoover and it was approved by President Nixon. But go ahead, brother.
If you back then with J. Edgar Hoover, if you watch some of the movies from back in the day, you know, even with Martin Luther King, the CIA had their hands in that. You know what I'm saying? They do things like that, and they plant people like that to destroy the infrastructure within. You know what I'm saying? And it's the art of war. That's exactly what it is. And it was a war on our people. That's what it was.
That's my first boss, Richard Smith. And you know what? My boss is right.
Right. It was the art of war. Yeah.
And you know what? There's a book, and you know what? I would suggest that people read it. Yeah, there's a good book called The Art of War, and I would suggest that you read that book. You know, read it. You know, and you know what? I'd say one thing about the Cointelpro. What I am upset about is they train imams, which are religious leaders, to go into mosques and to get in elite positions of leadership. They teach them how to read the Quran. They teach them how to teach the Sunnah. And here it is, another spy's coming in, and that's the one patting you down. To make sure you ain't got nothing.
Right. I mean, those are called plants. You know what I'm saying? Those are called plants. Actually spies. That's what they call. That's just a fancy word for it, but that's just the spies. You know, the government been doing that for years. They do that to other countries. They just did it on their land. You know what I'm saying? Or inside the communities for people that trying to build black people trying to build their communities.
So are you saying with the Cointelpro, they can send a worker in like an electric man, a machine man, an inspector, or something like that to plant a bug, a microphone, in your mosque, your place of worship, by the NAACP, or the Nation of Islam? That's what they could do.
Yes, they could. The government do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. It didn't even have to take them to have a law called the Cointelpro to do it, because they was doing it. They just made it law, Cointelpro, because probably they was getting caught up doing it. People was getting caught doing it, so they made it into law. You know, anything they don't get money off of and they trying to do, or they get caught doing, next thing you know, they're gonna make it into a law.
Okay. You know what? Now, there's someone saying that you want Jeff out of jail. Okay. He said that he was involved in doing work with Libya, and then he purchased rocket launchers, which could have been propaganda. But I want to see what you think about that.
I think it was all a setup. You know what I'm saying? That could have been the plant there, and I believe it was the plant that tried to sell them rocket launchers. So I'm not sure, and I don't want to say anything to incriminate him. I'm not sure, and I'm not positive is that what he was going to do, but because I'm not going to touch that like that, because I don't want to incriminate or put anything false information about what he was doing. But I know
what was in the news, though.
Yeah, they said he was trying to buy rocket launchers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they said he was trying to buy. But me personally, I think that's one of them plants again that set him up. He was set up.
Hey, it sound like the Blackstone Rangers. People don't know the Blackstone Rangers was in Chicago. Okay, sound like the assassination of Malcolm X. Okay, but
and you see what happened. You recently see what happened with that, right?
Yeah. Educate the people that don't know.
It's recently information came out that it was I believe the CIA that had something to do with him getting killed. They was saying it was like Farrakhan or whatever for years, and now it just came out, and it has been out, and his daughter was gonna expose them but all of a sudden she ended up dead in her home by no suicide or they're just saying she died. I guess.
You know what was ironic about that? Now I read. She died the same day that they exonerated.
Exonerated the
yeah. They killed Malcolm X of the Nation of Islam. So is that a coincidence? I'm asking.
You say you asking what?
I say, was that a coincidence? The same day that they were exonerated, forgiven for and saying they didn't have anything to do with Malcolm X and it was official. You know what? Malcolm X's old daughter died. Is that a coincidence?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's because they mad because now they're exposed. You know what I'm saying? Now you exposed, and now these guys that have been sitting in there all this time saying that they killed them, they let them out of jail, and they're being exposed. Anytime you expose the government for something like that, it's a chance, that you might not live.
Okay, now I want to get back. Richard Smith has a question for you about Jeff Ford. Okay, he allowed himself to be set up.
Well,
what your is on that?
I'm.
Come on.
The only reason I'm saying if it was true, the only reason I'm saying they're saying that is because he went to buy rocket launchers dealing with Libya or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that might have been the case. That might have been the case because he was dealing with the government and he should have not been, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing. But that's what the media say. And I'm just saying, I just know what was read. I mean, what was put in there, and I read it. But if you're saying like that, yeah, he allowed himself to get set up. If he was going to buy rocket launchers or whatever, put him in jail. Yeah, you might be right. If you're saying he shouldn't have been trying to buy it. But other than that, how he allowed himself to get set up? I don't understand that.
The whole thing could be a lie.
Yeah, the whole thing could be a lie.
I'm saying that because you know what? I know who control. I got an idea who controls the news agency and try to destroy people that are influential towards people of color. That's my personal opinion. But I'm interviewing you.
Because they do that and they try to destroy people of color in our rising leaders is because they don't want to see us united. They don't want to see black people wake up and say, okay, if we all stick together, we don't need these police in our neighborhood. We could police our own neighborhoods. We could feed our own people. That means now you're starting to deal with the government's money or and when they be putting all these police in these neighborhoods and to control them, like jail is a big stop. So when you start dealing with that, you're dealing with their money because you can't get on Robinhood or one of these sites and not that I know of and go buy stock in jail. It's these billionaires and the government, people in the government, millionaires that have stock in that. So yeah, you messing with these people money when the main target is us that they're hurting like cattle. You know what I'm saying? So if we the main target and they hurting us like cattle and you finding a way to wake your people up, so they're gonna lock you up or they're gonna knock you off.
You got another question in here, okay? Oh, I'm straining without my glasses. I don't like to wear the glasses because I'm in denial, but it puts a glare. But with the light. See, I remember Malcolm X's other daughter did a CBS show called 60 Minutes. That's a great show. And in some ways exposed Farrakhan, Minister Louis Farrakhan wrote a letter for the Nation of Islam claiming that Malcolm X was a traitor. Okay? And they want you to get your opinion. He wants your opinion about that.
I don't.
Was Malcolm X a traitor?
No, Malcolm X wasn't a traitor. Malcolm X just searched for the truth. You know what I'm saying? He searched for the truth and found the truth. And once again, that's all I'm gonna say about that because I'm not gonna talk nothing about negative about Farrakhan. not going to do that, so I'm not going to touch that. I love Brother Farrakhan. Everything. I'm not going to touch that. I love everything that he does and what he's standing for. So I don't know about that. But I know all Malcolm was doing was trying to find the truth.
So you know what? I'm not even going to ask. Okay. But you know what? I want to get back to Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford. These are the two gentlemen. For people that are just tuning in, Larry Hoover is right there. Former leader of the GDs out of Gangster Disciples in Chicago. And Jeff Ford is the leader of the RUKNS. Okay. And you know what? We're advocating that they get out of jail. Because, and you know what? My question to you is, do you believe that Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford, if they was let out of jail, that they could influence some gang members to drop their guns and go back to school because they have the ability to speak in a language that the preacher does not speak in, that the imam does not speak in, and the cardinal does not speak in, and the priest does not speak in. Do you believe that they have the ability to do that, to persuade someone?
Most definitely. Most definitely. It's a lot of us, just because of young ones out here being wild and misguided by people that's out here just trying to profit off of them for being wild. I didn't know how I was to put that, But most definitely, if they could just change one person, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers out here. There's a lot of brothers out here that still respect them. There's a lot of young ones out here still respect them. If they let them out and put them in the equation, a lot of this killing will stop. People are like, oh, they might kill Larry Hoover get out. No. They might, but they not, because he's not trying to get in the street like that. He's trying to be a family man, a grandfather, a father. He's trying, and that's what he's trying to be. Yeah, he probably speak up for what's going on, because that's who he is. He want to see his people. He don't like the way that his people are rotating right now, but most definitely, yes, they'll make a big difference. And these people know that, but they don't want to let them out because they know that. And why they don't want to let them out? Because they know that. Because now you messing with government money. Because
time pays.
Yeah. So that's the reason.
The brother got in here that Malcolm X was a real Muslim.
Yeah.
Hey, no doubt.
No doubt, right? Yeah. He was.
Ain't no doubt. You know what? Something. This is a question that I really need to ask you. Since Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover have been in jail for so long, there are renegades, meaning there are renegades that don't have any allegiance to anybody and they don't have any leadership. How do you think that Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover will be able to deal with the renegades that don't have allegiance to anybody?
You never know how much of an influence he would have on them, or impact he would have on their train of thought. Just for them being out, that might change them being a renegade, because now the OG's out. You know what I'm saying? And they might slow it down. I think it'll be a big influence on them, and pretty much slow them down on what they're doing, make them stop and think. We won't never know until they actually let him out of the trap. But me, I really think there'll be a big influence and on the renegades, because some of these cliques, and if you know, and I know because I got boots on the ground, some of these cliques and some of these little renegades, it's not just Stone and GD, and they got GD. They might, and they look quick. They might have a GD. They might have a Vice Lord. They might have a Stone or whatever. But they renegades. They just they little mob. You know what I'm saying? All of it's not like the same. Everybody's just not GD, and they renegade, and they got them. But it's a lot of them now. It's a whole different mobs or organizations together, and they just together as one.
Okay, we got a call, okay? Yeah, yes, hello? Yes, go ahead, brother. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Thank you for calling. Where you calling from? What city? Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay, go ahead, brother, and ask your question. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't from Chicago, but it's just like, bro, it's like I be looking.
Can you hear?
Like,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I be looking at like I'm from Florida though, but I be looking at like Chicago, like what the hell, like what so much chaos. And I don't understand like they took all the leaders out there equation, like even it's like a scientifically experiment they did in Africa, like when you kill the male elephant,
Yes.
the elephants are run wild. The elephants, man, my dad died, so
Yes.
I don't really know where to go. They just in the weirdness, like.
So, what's your question to him, my brother?
Oh, my question.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a question because I was looking at Jack Ford's daughter.
Yes.
He got a daughter down in Chicago.
Yes.
She was saying she was like the reason they really gave him so much time.
Yes.
Was like Jack Ford, he had this policy like no drugs and alcohol in the community.
Yeah.
And you know back then in them days, like the CIA or whatever. And they were trying to put drugs into the community. So like, you know back then with Reagan and Nixon when they had drugs and shit from Vietnam, but I guess Jim Ford was trying to stop that shit. So you know how it go, bro, when you get away with them folks' money, it's like
okay.
Knock your head off.
So you say that's your question to the brother. Hey, brother, and you okay. Okay, and you know what, man? Thank you for watching. And please, you know what, brother? Please share this broadcast, please. Okay, okay. He wanted to know about Larry and Jeff. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, about that's why. Yeah, that's what I've been saying the whole time. You know what I'm saying? They don't promote until this day. They don't promote. Agree with doing drugs and all that. You know what I'm saying? But he's right. That's what I've been saying. Anytime you deal with the government and you dealing with their money, or you into their money, drugs and alcohol and stuff creates crime, especially on the streets. So that could have been part of the reason, but we know the biggest reason is because then people can slow crime down. You slow crime down. You slow the stock down. You slow people going down in jail. Then they don't need as much police in the neighborhoods that's designed to have poverty. You know what I'm saying? And you messing with their money.
Okay, you got a question for Mr. Law. Okay, the question is, I'm lowering my head to read. Okay, in my opinion, the BDs and the GDs, they're the same. It's just sad how they kill each other through the years. So many brothers, uncles, and male cousins died because of the petty differences.
He right. And he right. And it's sad how they die over petty differences, but that's not just with them. That's with every mob. You know what I'm saying? That's just not with BDs and GDs. Any time you dying and it's not natural to me, I think it's petty. But it's with all the mobs. That's just when BDs and GDs. It's deep. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got another question. No. Okay. Go ahead, caller. Where you calling from? And thanks for calling. Okay, let me put you on speakerphone, okay? Go ahead, my brother, to ask the question. He's calling from Florida. Go ahead, brother.
So you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like my question was basically like But this is an easy question because it's all racism. But I was going to say, they only gave Al Capone 11 years, but Larry Hoover, he got a 6 life sentences. But Al Capone, they got 11 years. Larry Hoover was worse than Al Capone, bro.
Man, that's a good question. Did you hear that question?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question. You know what? I never even thought about that. People that did not hear it, he's saying, hey, Al Capone, look at what he did. Look at the St. Valentine's Day massacre. He only got 11 years. And here it is. Jeff, them, they got it right. Can you explain that? That's a good question.
Because they're black. That's all I can tell you. I can't explain nothing else because they're black.
See, the syndicate, the Lucky Luciano, okay? He was deported. He was deported. I don't know if you know that. He was deported. Okay? But here it is. That's a good point. Al Capone had many killed.
Yeah, because he even though he's Italian, that's what they consider white, and our people is black. I'm not saying I'm not prejudiced. I got white friends, all that, but I'm just saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And back then, you know, and everybody knows it has something to do with color. They didn't want to see our people prosper and gain and get into positions of power. Because if that was the case, they would never took Martin Luther King out. You hear what I'm saying? And it was the CIA. It wasn't, and they plotted on that. I'm not gonna name names or who had something to do with it, but just do your history, do your homework. You know what I'm saying? It's a black and white thing back then when it started.
Well, you know what? Though, we can go back to the Noble Drew Ali, brother. You know what? He had a movement. For people don't know who Noble Drew Ali was, he had a movement back to Africa, and he mailed out letters. And they sent him to jail. I had him deported because of mail fraud. Come on, brother. You know what? You got another call, brother. Go ahead, brother. What city you from? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, bro. Malachi York. Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, him, the other dude, Malachi York, the other dude, y'all like, bruh, this shit been going on for like 2,000 years. Like, this dude better black than dying. He was going to run around. So,
We gonna
Al Sharpton, he'll give us Farrakhan and Al Sharpton, but he'll give us Obama, but he would never give him like a real true thing, like somebody they can't control, like Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford.
Man, I don't even want to say nothing about Obama because
Me neither. I'm not gonna touch that.
I don't want to say. You know what? One day I'm gonna do a show talking about Obama, but let's let him respond to that. Okay? Thank you, brother.
Okay.
All right.
Now, this kind of question, he didn't put it in the form of a question. I thought he was making statements.
Yeah, he was making a statement saying that there are leaders that have been killed that wanted to uplift the conscious level.
Yeah, and when you uplift the conscious level, and you uplift the conscious level of somebody that's not woke, they start doing the right thing, like growth and development. We're conscious. We're doing the right thing because we know that if I go do this, I'm gonna end up in jail, not be able to take care of my family. And when you wake up, you feel it. You know that selling drugs and being out on the streets is only one or two ways you're gonna go. Either death or in jail. You know what I'm saying? And either way it goes, somebody profiting off your death and somebody profiting off you going to jail. So you messing with people money when people come conscious, you start waking them up.
You know, you got something in here. I'm gonna ask you about something else, but it's crazy because they even deported Marcus Garvey. Do you believe that? Marcus Garvey. I thought he was in jail.
I didn't know he was deported. Now, I'm not.
He had to move it back to Africa. Okay, and you know what they say? The letters that he sent out, they say it was mail fraud, and they deported him back to Africa. Well, but I'm not gonna say back to Africa, but they deported him. Okay, and that's great. You know, I want to ask you, man. You talk about Larry Hoover, and Jeff Ford. I believe both of them created a movement called PUSH, a coalition to galvanize gang members to vote people in office. And it was destroyed, okay, because they had the foresight to understand, you know what, the violence ain't where it's saying, you know what, we don't go into a voting block. Why did they destroy it? Why?
Because
why did they destroy that move? Because I remember there were gang members that were coming together, a lot of them. You know, it's almost like the Warrior movie, okay? But it's this movie called The Warriors where they brought gangs together, but they had brought them together to create a voting block. Why did they destroy it, bro?
Because we had the power. If you gather up all the gang members and the gang members start going to get people from the house, putting them in their cars, taking them to go vote, and you changing the political I want to say direction. You know what I'm saying? And that gives the people the power. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give the people the power. They want the government. If you have people power and you get who you want in office, so who we want in office to do what we need them to do, and so that brings more resources to our neighborhoods that they holding back. So it could possibly stop some of the poverty or slow it down when people can't get jobs. So if we put people in office what we want them to do, once again, it is go back to the dollar.
Go ahead, brother. Just 1 second, okay? Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, so you know,
hold on for 1 second. Let him finish his point. Just 1 second. Go ahead, brother.
So yeah, it politically they don't want to see nobody that have the power to persuade or put who we want in office. They want to keep the power within them. They don't want to give the power to the people. Mm-hmm. When you do that, you give them the power to the people.
Okay. You know what? We got a question. Go ahead, brother.
I was just trying to ask Antonio that political stuff really matters. But I know there was some president who was saying, I'm going to have black people vote Democrat. I forgot his name. For like 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? It was like, I'm going to have these niggas vote Democrat. It was like Kennedy vice president. It was like, I'm going to have black people voting Democratic for like 200 years.
Okay, I asked you.
Democrat, though.
Okay.
Well, the question was, the political stuff really played a role in like our lives.
Okay, I have mastered it. You say, does the political stuff play a role in our lives? Because black people of color, have been voting for Democrats for I don't know how many years.
I'm not gonna tell nobody not to vote. I'm gonna tell them to go and vote. Your vote makes a difference, especially in your community. You know what I'm saying? When you go vote for your alderman, get out there and vote for your alderman that you want. Get out there and vote for your senator that you want to represent you in your state. It makes a big difference. That's why they're in there. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're in it, because they had the power to gather people, and that's why they gave Mr. Hoover, and they try to keep him in there because he would have a political hold on the government because he could persuade people to go to the polls and vote. You know what I'm saying? And go to the polls and vote. When you get the people to go to the polls and vote for the people they want in office, and he get many people to go gather and go to these polls, that means once again they giving the people the power who we want in office. That's gonna do something for our community. and get stuff done rather than pocketing this money like these politicians are doing and not giving it to the people.
I want to ask you something, brother, being a critical thinker. If it was so bad, when he helped Mayor Daley get votes, the old Mayor Daley and Jane Byrne get votes, how come he wasn't vilified then? I would like to. And let me ask people that don't know who Mayor Daley is. Old Mayor Daley used to be the mayor of Chicago, and Jane Byrne, I believe, got help from Jeff Ford. Why weren't they vilified when they were out there helping to get votes for old man Daley and Jane Byrne?
Because that's who they wanted in office. That's who they wanted in office. And then dealing with them, then we can make sure we want who we want in office. So that's why they didn't, do anything, and they dealt with them then, because they knew, okay, well, we give him probably, and I wasn't there back then, but my assumption, we help him out, give him these government grants. So when it comes time to, okay, get your people to go vote for Mayor Daley or Byrne, we need you to get out there and get your people to the polls so we can get our people in the office. It's a give and take.
Okay.
We can give you this, but we need you to get out here and get who we want in office. And they knew they had the power to do it. So, that's pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know what? But people saying that, but it's documented proof. Somebody got a question. Okay.
It's the same dude. No.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Go ahead, brother.
So, you hear me?
Yeah, he's listening.
Oh, yeah, my last question, I was just going to say, it's like, was that a setup the whole time when they came down for $1 million for the community job program grant?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would you give a black man $1 million? That sounds kind of suspicious, like they want him to go to jail for them 7 years. So by the time he get out of jail, the community, seeing he already lost touch, but the first time he did like 7 years, so by the time he came home, the CIA had already finished putting the drugs in the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The court probably came home like, damn, what the hell happened?
So,
I only been on 7 years in the community.
okay.
Down that quick.
Okay. We're going to ask Antonio answer that. Go ahead, brother.
What was his formal question?
Huh?
What was his formal?
Something about the grant money. Is that why they gave him that grant money?
But I don't know their personal reasons of why they gave him the grant money, but I would think they gave it with him with the agenda behind it. So when they
call it again. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, because y'all have my question. I was talking about.
Okay, what's your question?
The question was that initial setup when they gave him the $1 million grant for the job program? It was not a setup, because like, why would you give a black person from the hood $1 million grant?
Okay, I'm gonna respond to that. You're saying when Jeff Ford the RUKNS got a grant, was that a setup?
I don't think it was a setup.
They felt that he would misuse the money anyway.
I don't think it was a setup. I think it was they gave it to him because they wanted something out of him too. Mm-hmm. If they wanted him to get his people to go to persuade who they wanted in office, and they knew he had the power to do it because he had numbers behind him. It's a numbers game. You know what I'm saying? So I think it wasn't a setup, and I wouldn't say why would they give a black dude from the hood? Why would they give anybody $1 million for grant money if they weren't going to come back and ask for a political favor?
Mm-hmm. You know something I'd like to ask you, Brother Antonio. I would like to ask you, there's someone out there tonight that is thinking about pulling a trigger to be initiated in a gang. There's somebody out there thinking about, you know what, I'm going to kill this child, I'm going to hurt this child to prove something to my gang members that I belong to this family. Because that's what the family head wants me to do. Can you talk to them, bro?
Think about the repercussions behind that. Not only going to jail, but think about the repercussions that might fall back on your family. What if the people come back and retaliate on your family? What you gonna do if you locked up? Think about sitting in that box, like the two brothers behind you, and never getting out. Think about that. Think about what if that was your brother, your sister, your cousin, your father. Think about that. Think about never ever getting up and not doing your own thing and somebody telling you what to do for the rest of your life and you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Telling you what to eat, telling you when you take a shower, telling you when to go to bed, and you grown. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about being like Mr. Hoover in humane situations and a cell no bigger than your bathroom and going to sleep on a concrete slab. That brother has the mentality like no other. Both of them does. Because a lot of people couldn't take that. They would have went crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know how strong these brothers are. And they still got their mind intact. That's why I give all the upright respect to Miss Wendy Hoover, because she is backbone. And he probably about the reason why he hasn't lost it, because when you have family pulling that out there for you like that, you got to keep your mind intact because they're your support team. You know what I'm saying? And think about putting your family through what Miss Wendy Hoover going through, Mama going through. You know, never touching her husband for years, man. Think about all that before you pull the trigger. Think about if that was your family you about to kill and they people about to bury. You got to think about it before you do it, because once that bullet come out that gun, you can't get it back.
Yeah. A question in it. I want to read this question. I don't like the question, but I'm going to read the question. The question is, didn't Old Man Daly sleep? Old Man Daly, who was the mayor of Chicago, sleep with Jane Byrne? I don't even know what it. I'm reading it, but I'm not going to dignify it. But go ahead.
I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a kid back then, so I don't even think if they would, I probably was a little baby, man.
I don't even. You know what? If Mayor Daley did have relations with Jane Byrne, it's really irrelevant.
Right. What I mean, like, a lot of it, I'm pretty sure a lot of them people in the political office sleeping with each other. You never know. That's just human nature, man.
Mm-hmm. You know, here's a question: is being in jail is demoralizing, and it kills your spirit. And in my opinion, does being in jail kill your spirit?
It should. It should kill your spirit, especially when you having a good dream and you think you're going to get up and get out and get in the world and be productive, and you wake up and you feel and you realize, man, I'm still up in here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, to kill your spirit. Who spirit wouldn't kill unless somebody like going in there?
Yeah. You know what? I would like to ask you something, brother. You know what? It says that Jeff Ford's release date is in 2044. I thought it was a life sentence. Okay, I didn't know.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know.
He's 60 years old, so I don't think he would make it. He wouldn't make it in it.
He'll be 100 and some change then, wouldn't he?
But you know, something I like to ask you. You know, when you have young people out there,
about 110,
do not want to listen to their parents. They disrespect their parents, and part of the reason is because the parent tries to be a friend, and once you try to be a friend, you lose some type of respect for your parent. I'm leading up to the question. Would you agree with that?
In some cases, it depends. It depends on that child that you're dealing with, because some cases it can make it a worse situation in some cases, it can make it a good situation. Because right now, I'm a single dad. I'm taking care of my daughter, and I want to be her friend. So she don't, because she's a female, and I want her to be able to come talk to me about anything, because she's a female, and I have to keep her safe. So, but I still draw the line as a parent, and my situation, yeah, she called me her best friend. And I am. She's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? But I draw that line between if she gets too out. And I got a beautiful daughter, a perfect. I don't have to yell. I don't have to scream. She gets good grades. She on a positive note, want to finish school and get a job. And I'm her friend. So it depends on the child and the individual. It's different situations. But if it comes down being a parent, I know how to switch off and be a parent. So I think it depends on the situation and the individuals.
Here's a question about Jeff. You want to know, what was he charged with? Jeff,
I believe it was treason, wasn't it?
No, I just knew he was in the jail for the rest of his life.
Don't quote me. Don't quote me. I would have to Google it. You know what I'm saying? I would have to Google it. But it was. I believe that's what it was. I'm not going to say that's a fact. But my research, I honor Mr. Jeff for it, but my research, I want to free them all, but my main agenda is Mr. Larry Hoover.
But you want to free them all, though, right?
I want to free them all. Because after Mr. Larry Hoover just sparked the fire in me. You know what I'm saying? He lit that fire up under my ass to give me a purpose.
That's Larry Hoover right there.
To give me a purpose. My purpose came in here is to assist on help getting them out. If it's making everything go viral, positive, or help feeding the homeless or spreading his word out there. But he gave me that spark where once he get free, and I don't put negative vibes out there. I say once he gets free, I'm gonna continue to do this. I'm gonna continue to work to free them all. You know what I'm saying? Just don't stop with him. He's just my main priority right now. You know what I'm saying? But once he gets free, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep speaking for Jeff Ford. I'm going to keep speaking for all the political prisoners because they're all in there under humane conditions.
You know what? When the young, this is a question that's puzzling, mind-boggling to me. Why is it when a young man, a young woman goes to jail? Before that, they didn't want to listen to their parents, but when they get in jail, on that cell block, they listen to everything their gang chief says. Why?
Because if you in jail and you not listen to what they saying, you'll get violated. Where are you gonna go? Where you gonna go?
I go to H house, brother. But they say you can't hide. H house is protective custody, but you can't hide in there, brother.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Well, even though if you in H house, you ain't left out of town. You still in there. You still in their grasp, so they can do something to you. Now I ain't never been to the penitentiary, but I'm pretty sure like you're not getting away.
You got a call. It's the same, brother, man. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, this is so weird because I'm looking. You know that bullet you got a Jeff?
Yes.
It's so weird because I was just looking at his old videos. Like he had to be like he looked like 17 to 18. He had a little mohawk. You know what I'm talking about? It's so crazy, man, because it's like he got a beard now, so it's like man, he was so young, but he was like such a great leader at a young age. Like that's a dangerous situation. Like a young black, intelligent young man, and you.
Okay, you got a question. You got a question for him, my brother. Okay. You got a question for him, my brother.
Yeah, my question is like, I believe it's like, because it's like, I don't want to speak on Jeff Ford case of like individuals, but it's like as a black community, it's like I feel like God is punishing us for our disobedience. But our punishment will only last so long until God, like, oh, my kids have enough, y'all can live and carry.
Okay. So you saying, are we suffering a chastisement? I asked him that. He said, are we suffering a chastisement, brother? Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Are we suffering a chastisement?
If you believe in what the Bible says, yes.
From deviating out the path of God.
Because we're not being obedient.
Okay.
Yeah, that's if you believe in what the Bible says. It's all of what you believe, and or what your religion or what you believe. I can't speak for yourself. If you believe that, believe that.
Now you know what? When you go into Statesville or Cook County Jail or Mississippi Jail, okay, and you don't belong to a gang, what would you expect? What usually happens if you don't belong? Do you have to belong to a gang? I already know the answer.
I know you probably know the answer, but I never been to prison, so I'm gonna say I don't know, but I don't know as far as that because I've never been in a joint. I have a lot of friends that been, but they always been affiliated.
What do they share with you then?
Yeah, they share with me, but a lot of them will take up for a neutron or somebody that's not in. They call neutrons because that means neutral. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them will take up for them because they don't pray on a week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure
they don't pray on a week.
Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of my friends will take up for a neutron because they don't pray on a week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure it's something going on in there like that. I'm not gonna say it's not. I never experienced prison like that. But I'm pretty sure some of them might pray on the week. That's what we call praying on the week. If you praying on if you doing something to somebody because he's not affiliated or trying to take his food or his commissary or something because you got a mob behind you, that's praying on the weak. And that's not being a stand-up man to me.
It happens. Well, I'm saying, if you're in a situation like that, how do you handle it? How do you handle it when somebody you don't belong to a gang and somebody is taking your commissary? How do you handle it when men try to rape you and you don't belong to no affiliation?
I'm just gonna say.
What do you do, brother?
I'm gonna say for me. I'm gonna just say for me. I ain't gonna tell nobody else to do that. But I was taught to stand up and be a man, or like 50 Cent say, "Get rich or die trying." I'm gonna fight, or you gonna kill me. You're not gonna take my manhood and keep raping me. We both gonna die tonight. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you something, brother. You can't beat the whole mob, my brother.
Yeah, no, you can't beat the whole mob, and that's my reason. That's my reason saying that because once you stand up, you gotta fight everybody. That's just me. But I'm not gonna sit you. I'd rather have somebody just take me out or me trying to fight for my manhood. If I die, okay, I'm gonna die. But you're not gonna sit there and just rape me or do anything to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody else. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking for myself, and that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You ever see the movie Oz?
Yeah.
That's real, brother.
Yeah, it's real. No, I'm not saying none of that is real. I'm just saying what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be your bitch. We gonna fight every day, or you gonna kill me in here. I'm serious. I'm gonna die, and that's what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just speaking for myself, bro. And I'm just telling you, and everything I tell you that I stand on, that I say I do. You know, and that's who I am, and that's who I was raised. You're gonna stand up and be a man, whether if you get beat up, come back, fight again. I used to go and get into fights and come home and they know, and I just told them I lost, and I had to go right back out and fight them again. You know what I'm saying?
So if you don't belong, and they take your commissary every time. You know, with something on ours, you know what, this guy didn't belong to the gang. And you know what they did? They took his shoes. They said, say out loud. I'm getting
They took his shoes. What happened? What happened after they took his shoes? They found that gun in there and he killed that guy, right? And they
took a gun into the prison.
Yeah, and they got a gun to the prison and he killed the dude who took his shoes, right?
Yeah.
What I was just saying. I'm going to die trying. You ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do anything to me. They're going to have to put me, do something to put me in a hole or something.
Then his parents sent him some more shoes. He said, brother, I like them shoes. So they said,
right.
He said, hey. He said, you're not going to take me. So you're going to get, you're getting tough, huh?
Yeah. And he didn't only kill him, he started shooting everybody.
You see, what I'm trying to tell you is this is what a young person can expect once they go to prison. You will be confronted by men that might give you cigarettes.
Don't take it.
You know what? Once you get cigarettes is money in jail.
That's money. You could, even in the county, you could buy food, anything with cigarettes.
And see, the thing is, when you don't pay them back,
is when you had
there's brothers that have been lent out for sexual things because they could not escape. So you know what? Every commissary has been taken from people that didn't belong to nobody because they knew nobody was there to protect. If I'm wrong, let me know, bro.
You're not wrong, and that's what I say again. That's praying on the weak. You're not a man, or you're not, or y'all not stand up praying on the weak. I don't honor no man praying on the weak like that. For real. I'm gonna sit here and say like I did a little time in Cook County. I never been to prison. I have no felonies because I beat my cases, but I have taken up for neutrons and took them up under my wing just because I knew they would get preyed on by the weak. And I didn't ask for anything. They didn't have to give me anything. But there was some people I knew from the world like, yo, just stick with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of the people that doesn't do. But yeah, it goes on in there. And I can't tell nobody how to handle the situation because I don't know what your heart is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lay down.
Well, are you telling me if you was in that situation? Now this is something I know.
You sound like me. Go ahead.
No, they pay rent for their sales and they pay cigarette money. So you said you would not pay anybody no cigarette money, no matter who they were.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay them if I borrowed it from them. Now,
No. Let me start all over again. Okay. Then once you go to jail, I'm not talking about no medium joint, a max joint. Those gang chiefs charge cigarettes for those sales. And them brothers up their cigarettes. But you say you would not up there anything. If you was inside of a max prison, you wouldn't up anything. Are you saying that?
I'm not gonna let nobody bully me or take. I'm just saying how I was raised, man. Okay. I'm saying how I was raised. I can't speak for nobody else.
So you wouldn't pay no rent like what they doing in jail to the kids.
I paid rent coming through there through the state. So I already paid rent coming through the state.
I'm telling you what go on in them galleries upstairs, brother. What?
I'm not a neutron. I can't speak for I can't speak for what somebody else would do. I only can speak for what I do. I don't want to speak and tell somebody I'm saying what I'll do because I don't want to mislead nobody and for them to get hurt for what Antonio said. I'm saying what I wouldn't do. I don't care if it was in jail. I don't care if it was on the street. I'm not for letting nobody do nothing to me, present me to bodily harm because I'm fighting back. I don't care. I was a young dude, and wouldn't take nothing from grown men on the street and fighting them. So I'm doggone sure not going to take nothing in jail. I don't care how many numbers it is. I'm going to die trying. That's just it. That's just me. I'm being honest.
I got news for you, brother. They don't believe it. They don't mind killing you, brother.
No, they don't. But But I'm saying that's what they're gonna have to do. But at the end of the day, they're gonna know I stood up for mine. I'm a man. If I let nobody take my booty, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta ask you, brother got a question in the chat room. I'm lowering my head to read the question. It said, what if Jeff and Larry never went to jail? And how would the gang culture be if they didn't go to jail?
If they didn't go to jail, Mr. Larry Hoover would probably be our mayor right now. If they didn't go to jail, if they didn't go to jail, they both probably be in political positions like the hamburger gang. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna put that. Because they could we could have voted them and stay in jail and stay in office like the Dailies, the Irish mob. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was gonna be. And they know that if them brothers never went to jail, it would be none of this all these killers out here, and those brothers would be in a political position right now.
Now, brother wanted to tell you something out because I already know already. Brother said on the cell block, he said, I saw a whole block, a deck, over 75 people give
75 cent bag, the whole deck go up over a 75-cent bag of chips.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably did. You probably did.
See, it's a different culture, brother.
Yeah, it's a whole different community. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. But I'm just saying, what if you don't have them cigarettes to pay for the sale? What if ain't nobody?
You know what? You're gonna steal. You're gonna get somebody on the outside. You're gonna do anything.
What if you don't have nobody on the outside? It's people like that. So then what happens?
You're gonna serve. You're gonna do something, brother, to earn your keep. I'm not gonna say what it is. You're gonna do something to earn your keep.
Oh, well.
But I'm gonna ask you something. The brothers that are going through that and they are giving up the cigarette money, would you say they weak brothers?
No, I wouldn't say they weak brothers.
No, you just said you're a strong brother. You would never do that. Wouldn't you say that they weak?
I wouldn't call them weak. I wouldn't call them weak. I'll just say they don't want to. They just rather go the other route.
And Lord knows this is the culture, but.
Now, and believe you me, and trust me when I tell you, I'm speaking for myself. So don't go up in jail talking about Antonio said, or you be up in there fighting away. I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. Like as far now, cigarette tax, if that's what's going on, that don't sound all too bad because I don't smoke cigarettes. So if I buy some, okay, you can have it's probably $1 some more commissary. You can have it. But as far as taking my manhood, bro, you gonna have to kill me. Now
I'm gonna tell you something. Now, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I know somebody that looked like Hercules, brother, that was broke down, holding his hand like this, doing somebody's laundry. Okay, stripped of his manhood. I asked him, brother. I said, "How did you let them strip you of your manhood? He looking like this, Hercules. You know, he put his hand down. He said, you can't beat the whole mob." I said, damn.
Now the whole mob raping you, there's something wrong within your mind, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, that's what he told me. He said, you can't beat the whole mob, brother.
Yeah, but I'm going to do something to make them pick me out next time. You ain't going to be sitting there just raping me.
Man, I want to get back to Larry Hoover and Jeff. They say they were bad. They were evil. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If Al Capone killed all those people, had alcohol running and drugs and prostitution, why is it he didn't get life in jail? and he killed all those people. But the two brothers behind me got life.
But
Him and Lucky Luciano.
But you know, back then, Al Capone and Lucky Luciano, especially Al Capone, had political ties. You know what I'm saying? They had political connections too, probably with judges and everything else. And that also plays a part with the skin color. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, back then it was either black and white. It's all in black and white. And I really and you know Al Capone had political ties. But I think the real big part is the skin color.
Okay. You know what? Bumpy Smith, I know I'm recovering, going back to things because this is a bad broadcast. Bumpy Smith used to run numbers in New York, in Harlem. Okay? And he was so bad and so evil, they sent him to jail. But if it was so bad and so evil, why did they eventually legalize the lottery? Why?
Because
who Bumpy Smith is.
Bumpy Johnson?
No, Bumpy Smith of New York.
Oh, Bumpy Smith?
Yeah.
It's about the money.
You ran numbers, brother. Okay.
Right. They ran numbers too, and then they probably wanted to take over his territory. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It all got to do with the money. The money is the root of all evil with the government and everything else, even on these streets. The money is the root of all evil. So pretty much they wanted his territory, and he was growing too big for them, probably more money than them, and they wanted greed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's all about the money.
Mm-hmm. And you know, as we talk about that, they say Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford were evil. I'm talking about but why was the CIA? Why did the CIA, according to documented proof, put crack in the African American community, and nobody from that agency was sent to jail? They used bodies that they stuffed narcotics in from Vietnam and came back. That's another thing I would like to say. And they distributed heroin all throughout the country, and about the crack that was introduced into this country by the CIA in LA, in Compton, I think. Why, brother? How come they want to sit to jail, brother?
Because it's the government. And so when the government drop crack, guns, or whatever in your neighborhood, now they creating money for themselves. Because they creating criminals to go to jail, which bring money, thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. If there's no crime, there would be no reason for these police to be in our neighborhood. They wouldn't have any jobs. If there's no crime or less crime, they would have less people in jail. There wouldn't be nobody in jail. You know what I'm saying? So they put this stuff in our neighborhood because we are numbers to them. We're numbers. We're not people. We're numbers. You know what I'm saying? Dollar signs. And every time, even when you hit Cook County, if they get a certain amount of money just processing you, thousands of dollars per head. It's stock. It's business. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that America is a corporation, and for them to drop drugs and drop heroin and everything in our communities, you're creating crime. Our communities are already designed for us to fail, and the crime and drugs and alcohol and guns is just another component of what they design. It's up to you not to do it. It's up to you to be smart enough to be like, hey, look, okay, I'm just going to get a job and live an ordinary Joe life. But they know we don't not let them get so many jobs like in this neighborhood or make it hard for them to live or put the price of food way up where the jobs are not going to cover it. and we're gonna drop these drugs over here and let them see, like, you know, they can make some money off this, and for them to get locked up, it's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the trap. You know what I'm saying? You only
Larry was bad, and Jeff Ford was bad, but they did the same thing. Okay, come on, brother, talk to me.
They wasn't bad. They wasn't bad. They labeled them bad, but you got to think they was just trying to survive in their environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They both didn't have much. They came from Mr. Hoover came from I believe down south, and as I know that he grew up in poverty. You know what I'm saying? So, like any person on the street, they seen a way to make some money. You try to make some money, but if the government is not profiting off you what you're doing, they're gonna send you to jail. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna kill you or lock you up for a long time. And then it's just it's a corporation, man. What people gotta understand, this is America, man. America is a business.
Yeah.
It's business. And crime is big business.
Crime.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You got something in here, brother. Brother want to tell you something. We was telling, remember, we going back just for 1 second. The brother said, you know, we was talking about prison. He said, oh, yes, it's true. Seems a muscle-bound dude from Wisconsin that was broken down, brother. You can be broken down in prison.
Yeah, I know you can be broken down.
Believe me, brother. Believe.
Well, if I'm gonna do something to send me to the hole, you ain't gonna keep doing it. If I'm gonna get some more time, like my uncle that raised me used to tell me, like if I get into a big fight and it's a lot of them, I'm gonna grab one person and I'm gonna mess him up so bad. You know what I'm saying? The others gonna learn, or they gonna send me to the hole. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, and I've never been to prison, to the penitentiary, so I can't speak upon or what somebody else would do. But I know I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to get up out of it. They gonna have to.
It ain't no put down. They had you holding your hand like this, brother. Girl, shit. No put down. Okay. Hey, you know what I mean? Doing somebody's laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just using it as an example. They'll break you down. But you know what? Getting back to what I was saying. If Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover were so bad and they went to jail, how come in certain communities they used to fly planes that deposited chemtrails in poor and disenfranchised areas, but they didn't do it in Bel Air or Beverly Hills. And that deposit in that plane was dropping chemicals down in poor and disenfranchised people. So why, brother? Why wasn't the pilot sent to jail, and why wasn't the one that orchestrated that go to jail? Why, brother?
Because the government doing that. The government the one sending them up there to set the chemtrails or whatever they do to in a less fortunate neighborhoods to either make you go crazy or I don't know what the chemtrails do, but whatever they
deposit chemicals down in certain neighborhoods. Oh, go ahead, brother.
And that goes back to population control. You know what I'm saying? That's population control. Just I ain't gonna say that word because you know we're not talking about that, but they doing it now. It ain't chemtrails, but it's something else. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's all the population control, and when they do that and they drop it in the neighborhoods like they're dropping in the neighborhood in a suburb, a less unfortunate suburb. A middle class suburb, but it's black and white. That's no skin color. That's population control.
Talking about the FEMA camps and all that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to tell people that are watching this broadcast, I want you to, at the bottom, I want you to share this with your social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, share it. And I like to emphasize something. This is a little platform that is trying to grow. And these are the subject matters that we talk about. And if you can make a donation, I don't care if it's $1, because every penny I put in is being sent towards building me a studio where I reside at, so I can bring you better shows. You know, maybe you can say something to help.
Oh yeah, give him a donation on the strength that he's trying to bring awareness to our people. You know what I'm saying? This platform like that helps for the people that's not woke, for the people that don't know what's going on, for the people that don't know that these brothers are in there and being held as prisoners, political prisoners against all legal. They're being held illegally. You know what I'm saying? Especially Mr. Larry Hoover is being held illegally. He's a political prisoner. And once again, go to free my father, free my father. Go get you a t-shirt.com and go in there and click on get you a shirt for support or Hoover Enterprise. Google it. Get a free my father shirt with Larry Hoover Jr., my man. You know, and go get a t-shirt. Support the cause, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think if it was your brother, your father, your uncle, and being locked up like that for all that time, you know what I'm saying? What would you do? Wouldn't you be doing the same thing and try and shed some light? The money for this platform, the money for the shirts can help fuel us to help everybody else, not just them.
Yeah, Kevin, you know what, Kevin, share this on your social media platform. I've been trying to get Kevin on the show forever.
Yeah.
One day he gonna tell me, yeah. You know what, one thing, something else. Oh, yes, it is true. See, I already read that.
He pulled it up again. Oh, okay.
And you know what? The other thing is, if Larry and Jeff and the powers to be eyes are so evil, why did they move poor and disenfranchised people around power lines, which was planned 20 years in advance? Because living around power lines make people have birth defects,
Chaos.
problems. So if that was true, why were not the planners somebody complain, setting people around where big power lines are to destroy people's minds? How come they want to shoot the jail, brother? And that's a hazard. Algill Gardens is an example of it. It's a garbage dump around. Okay, but why was it strategically put that way by a group of people to move them around power lines and a garbage dump? Okay, but they weren't prosecuted, brother. Help me, brother. Help me to understand, brother.
It's agenda. It's all the government.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Power lines and that still brings money. If this did what you say, it makes disabled people cancer, make people go crazy with the chemtrails. That's another form of get money that goes to big pharma. You know what I'm saying? Where people have to be treated for these illnesses, and big pharma is big money, just like jail. You know what I'm saying? Big pharma has a lot to do with the government too. That's why we are going through what we're going through now. I want to speak upon it, as YouTube don't want to shut you down, but it's big pharma, man. Big pharma. If they putting things around you to create deformed kids or anything that you have to go to the hospital or get medication for, that's still money going towards the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I would like to address another question to you. If they are so evil, which I don't believe, I did not. Guys, Oliver North was a colonel in the military that supplied guns to the Contras. Okay, during Reagan's time. How come he wasn't prosecuted? Now they prosecuted other people. I'm talking about in the United States that has done things. How come they didn't prosecute Oliver North?
Because Oliver North,
He was running guns.
he was just exposed. You know what I'm saying? He was exposed what he was doing. Do you really think Oliver North was doing that without somebody's permission? Somebody higher up. They're not doing all this stuff and don't nobody else know about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why he wasn't prosecuted. Because if he wasn't prosecuted, it had to be from higher up. The government behind the government.
Mm-hmm. Oliver North was following orders. That's what Kevin said.
Yeah. Like I just said, it came from higher up. If he wasn't prosecuted, it came from higher up. They wanted him to do that.
No, man, I want, something that's mind-boggling to me now. Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover were attempting a political power move to do it legally. But why did the United States go into Libya with CIA operatives to topple Omar Gaddafi? And how come nobody was prosecuted? I want to know. But what they were doing was legal, the ones behind me, okay, to gain power. But we went over to Libya to destabilize this country, and they have modern day slavery right now. Well, you can buy some. Come on, talk to me, brother. Teach us, brother.
Anytime the government goes to another country, just like when they go over there and get into wars and everything like that, like the president or somebody in the White House might have companies set up there. War is big money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just like when they went over there to Libya, Omar Gaddafi, he had a plan for his people. You know what I'm saying? And his plan pretty much probably would have brought the value of the American money down.
Okay.
So that means that you're messing with the government money again. You got to realize when you do stuff like that, you're messing with a corporation. Just like when they got Donald Trump in office. Do you really think they put him in office because he was the right guy for the job? He was the right businessman for the job. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the right businessman for the job. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the right president for political reasons. They wanted a businessman in there because it's a corporation. You know what I'm saying? So they got in there who they wanted in there because he was a businessman. You know what I'm saying? So anytime they go into other countries and invade or go get in other people's business, it's either they have it's big resources over there that they want, or the person in charge, you're stopping something us from America from getting the resources, or you're going to hurt the value of the money over here with us.
When we talk about guns, I want to know. We talked about Oliver North. I want to know something, and this is backtracking. How is it in the African American community? There are trains that come through the community. And the young boy, a gang knows to break into a certain cart that is loaded with guns and get away scot-free.
You know, go ahead.
You know what? Explain that to me, because that is mind-boggling to me. How do they know what train to break into, what train car to break in?
Because it'd be that one.
How do they get away with it? Because there's so many cameras. Help me to understand, bro.
That's the plan. That's a plan in your community to keep the crime rate going, to keep the crime rate high. So we're gonna stop this train with all these high-powered weapons in your neighborhood for about a week or a couple of days, and we're gonna send another plane in there to let one of these brothers know on the street, hey, they got guns over there. They got guns on their train. You know what I'm saying? And they keep it there. And believe you me, they know you over there taking it because that's what they want you to do. Them plants are there to keep crime in the community. And when like I said, I know a couple of people that went to jail because of that. I know of a police officer or a situation in the neighborhood that was selling drugs to all the gang for drugs, selling guns to all the gang members for drugs. Mm-hmm. And he ain't in jail right now.
And you know what, brother? We got something in the chat room that said, how do you control 6 billion Chinese? You seize the one thing they crave most. Poppy seeds and opium. See the Afghanistan connection in that. You want to comment on that?
I don't know about the Chinese and the Afghanistan connection, but I know the government had their hands in them poppy seeds. How you think we got heroin over here? How you think we got opium over here? It just didn't come over here because we brought it over here. We didn't grow that over here. We were the ones that put. We didn't have the government planes and the government soldiers that brought that over here. It's the government. Once again, the government wants you to have drugs and crime because jail is a big commodity. It's big stock. It's money. We're all numbers to them.
I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna put this in a big picture, okay? I'm gonna show y'all. This is what it's about.
Money.
Let it rain, baby. Let it rain.
Let it rain on our black neighborhoods. That's what they do.
You saying the lawyers make money, the prosecutors
the judge make money? Yeah, it's all a trickle effect. If they stop the crime in our neighborhoods, a lot of people gonna be out of work if we be conscious and wake up like, okay, all they trying to do is either the funeral homes gonna make money off us or jail. You know what I'm saying? And jail is what they want you to do because it's $1 billion business and there's billionaires into it. So, at some point in time, you're going to have to wake up, or either you're going to die or you're going to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Either way it go, they're going to make money off you.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? That is true. You got another question, man. You got a lot of questions. It's a lot of people watch. Okay. But I want to encourage people that are looking at this show. You know what? Go to the bottom and share this on Facebook, on YouTube, on Tumblr, Prius, whatever social media platform that you have. We ain't talking about no football game. Damn it, the football game is on tonight. But we ain't talking about it. We're talking about something that's impacting our people. And when we talk about impacting our people, Larry, Hoover, and Jeff Ford coming out and creating a voting block. Will we get more justice in Chicago from them than the political structure that exists right now? And would people be held accountable?
Yeah, they would be held accountable. Our code in the streets would be back in. All these kids, these little kids and girls and boys out here just riding up the block and getting shot because one of these knuckleheads is coming up the block shooting. I would say it would be a massive change, but it'd be a change, and any change is better than none. Any change and a little bit of change will start a big change. So if they could get out and they could spark the brain of one young man, he could spark the brain of 10 of them. Them 10 could spark the brain of 12 of them. Them 12 could wake up 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? So once you get conscious and you woke, that's why they're in jail. Mm-hmm. Once you get conscious and you woke, and like I said, that's why they're in jail, and wake up the masses, you're messing with government money.
See, I believe that my children will get more justice from them than the power structure that exists right now. Because, and I believe that would they, this is a controversial, would they hold a politician accountable just as the Anti-Defamation League holds politicians accountable to the community? You know, Anti-Defamation League, which is good, you know what, is led by the Jewish people. Okay? Would they hold the politician just as accountable as the Anti-Defamation League, in your opinion?
In my opinion, they should.
I'm saying, would they? I'm talking about Jerry Ford and Larry Hoover. Would they hold a politician accountable just like the ADL and the Anti-Defamation League does to the political structure?
I don't know. And
let me say that with their voting block. That's what I'm asking. With their voting block.
I think they will hold the politician accountable that they helped get in office. Mm-hmm. If they're not holding up to their word, if they come to them and say, hey, you know, can you gather your people and let me get this vote? And I believe they're not going to do nothing for do something for nothing. Those brothers.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Anti-Defamation League. Okay,
I have a couple Jewish friends.
Anti-Defamation League looks out for the behalf of
the Jewish neighborhood,
Jewish people, and I'm asking you, would Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford, if they created that political power structure, be just as demanding to hold politicians accountable that are not looking out for the best interests of their people?
Yeah, I was just getting to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would think they would hold them accountable for that, because those two people love their people. You know what I'm saying? And if these politicians not getting in office and doing what they promise, those brothers are those are type of brothers that would hold them accountable, create a structure like that to hold them accountable. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds smart enough to do, because that sounds like something they would do. Yeah, I believe that they would, because I believe the politicians will come to them and ask them to help them get these votes, and they're not gonna do it for nothing. And those type of brothers are like, hey, I'm gonna need you to do this for my community, bring some jobs in here, help me get these kids off the street. You know what I'm saying? And then if they do it and they agree to it and they get them in office, yeah, I believe they would create a structure like that, and they would hold people accountable, because they love their people, just like the Jewish people. They love their people too.
Let me say this to somebody, you know, when somebody wants to say I'm anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic. You know what? Hey, I admire what the Jewish people are doing for their people. I admire it because they have a cohesiveness. And you know what? They're looking out for the best interests of their people. And you know what? I just wish my people would do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
And I say that with all due respect and not being sarcastic about that whatsoever. You know, and you know, I want to ask you something, man. You know what? Going back to something global. What do people in Chicago? We're talking about Chicago for 1 minute. What do people in Chicago do when regentrification is taking place on the southeast side of Chicago? If somebody does not know what regentrification means, that is a group of people that is being pushed out because the property value is going up. Okay, so in other words, we have like an Obama library that's going to be made, and we might have a gambling casino that will be made on the southeast side of Chicago. So what do we do when they send in inspectors to inspect homes that are 75 years old and is not up to code, and you're living from paycheck to paycheck to push you out? What do you do, brother? Okay, what do you do?
The only thing I can say,
I'm saying it's a land grab. You know what I'm saying is they send in help. They send in building inspectors to come in to see if your house is up to code, and you know damn well your house is not up to code and it's 75 years old. Okay, yeah, and they come inside. What do you do, brother? What do you do?
All I say is try and get your house up to code.
Paycheck to paycheck. I'm saying this is designed to push you out.
Right, regentrification. You're exactly right.
Is it good? Is it right?
No, that's not right. That's not right, because some people have been in their house forever, like old people. Senior citizens have been in there forever, and that's all they know. And now you came and pushed them out the house and push them out their property and send them to a worse neighborhood where they might get a bullet to fly through the window, or their grandkids can't sit outside and play. And then they was living in the neighborhood that was safe for them forever. No, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's right at all for somebody to work all their life and have his house paid for and living a check for check, just living. And now here you come trying to put up a structure and push them out and either make them homeless or make them move out their house into an apartment or a worse neighborhood. That's not right.
Kevin said they coming out this property right now. Okay, but I would like to ask you, brother, what house is up to code to 75 years old? What house? And the average person is just making it. What house is up to code to 75 years old? Come on, talk to me. I don't mean to sound like Minister Farrakhan, but talk to me, bro.
It's none, I guess. None, I guess. But if you live in the pay, I mean, do what you try and get along. See if you get along. Go to a politician, and 9 times out of 10, if there's regentrification, the politicians are ahead of it. So that probably will work. I don't have no solution for that. I really don't have an answer for that. I can't answer that.
You see, that's been going on for years.
Yeah, and it's been going on for years. And nobody had an answer for it. So I can't. Who if they still doing it, then and they haven't made a law for them not to do it. Nobody figured it out yet.
They always not the smart thing to do with the new businesses that come in. Hey, that extra tax money should be towards helping to bring people's homes up to code.
Right, exactly.
Like energy assistance, okay, or something like that. But you say they want to push you out and bring in a whole group of people. That ain't right, bro.
No, that's not right. When they make these structures and make these libraries in the Obama Center, now your property value went up. The property value went up way sky high, like you said, and like some people that I know was buying those houses, the cheap $75,000 houses or or buildings in the neighborhoods and buying them up and just sitting on them and waiting until they come offer them some money for them to build, or go ahead and it's all type of ways that scenario can go, but it's not right, man. You putting a lot of people out to be homeless, or they might have they check and they just and their house is paid for. They might be living from check to check, but that house is paid for, and it might be 75
Thank you to everybody for watching.
But it's theirs and it's paid for. They live in check to maintain. Now you can push them out, and now rent right now is not cheap in Chicago. It's sky high, and now they might be in there under some that's paid for, and now got to go pay $1,000, $1,200 for a 2-bedroom or something like that. They can't afford it because you push them out what they work forever for. And they pay for. Now you just push them out where they got to go to an apartment and Chicago is sky high. You paying $1,200 or $1,300 depending on what neighborhood you're in for a 2-bedroom. That's a mortgage.
Yeah. So people that are looking at this, if you like this broadcast, we'll support his organization. And you know what? For me,
Free My Father. You can support that and Google Hoover Enterprise and for the Larry Hoover Project to see what's going on to support anything that's going on with Mr. Hoover. You can go check it out on the Larry Hoover Project. You can Google it. You can go to Facebook and find it. You can go to Instagram and find it. You know, but you purchase those T-shirts or any apparel that he has on there. Larry Jr. on Free My Father. And Google see what he got going on Hoover Enterprise. Just check him out. If you don't buy anything, just go check it out. You might have a father or a brother. It just don't mean Free My Father for Larry Hoover. It's Free My Father T-shirt for whoever.
Larry Hoover's right over there.
Right. Well, it's not just, it has a column down there where you can put your name in it. You know what I'm saying? You can get the T-shirt to support the prisoner that you want, or the political prisoner that you want, or your brother, your mother, your father, anything, your cousin. It's just not just for, it doesn't say Free Mr. Larry Hoover, it says Free My Father. You know what I'm saying? So you can put whatever name you got down there. It doesn't just mean it's just the logo, but you know you put any name down there, free, just support. Just go support.
Mm-hmm. You know when I went to Larry Hoover's mother's passing. Y'all know you might know a brother named Red Ross. You know, invited me.
I don't know.
He invited me. I said, I didn't know her. But I was surprised at the respect that they had for Larry Hoover. I was surprised, okay, because thinking what the media made me think, okay, but I still wanted them free. But the thing is, there were people from all over, man. You know what? I met some extraordinary people. Red Ross and Clifton Bradley, who lives in Chicago. Becky works for attorney Kim Fox, consultant, used to be in the GDs. And he beat his rap and got out of jail. You know, Gator Bradley. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Gator's a good guy.
Some people think me and Gator are related because we got the same last name, Bradley. And I said, I don't know. I don't know.
You never know. You never know.
He came off the same plantation.
Yeah, everybody came off the same plantation, so you never know.
But I would like to ask you something. This is dealing with drugs. And I asked you this question last time, but it was distorted. I want to ask you, how in the hell do I know what a drug house is? And little Johnny knows what a drug house is. Little Pee Wee knows where you can buy guns at. And the police don't know.
I'm not going to say they don't know.
I'm going to take my cap though. I don't. Explain it to me.
I'm not going to say they don't know. I'm not going to say they don't know. They might just turn a blind eye to it. You know what I'm saying? But
they give me a ticket though if they catch me wrong.
Because it'll be less consequences for them pulling you over, getting a bogus ticket, instead of them running up in the dope house, kicking the door down, and they don't find nothing. Now you being a liability, you could be sued. You know what I'm saying? Or it's against the law. Like I said, it's easier for them to pull you over than run up somebody's house because you gotta go unless you're a rogue cop or unless they running in pursuit of a crime that they seen or witness you do, and you run into that dope house, and then they have every right to run in there with you without a warrant. You know what I'm saying? But just being a cop, any cop is it's law. They have to help be under surveillance for a certain amount of time, get a warrant, all that. You just can't run up in nobody's house. You know what
I'm saying is, if I know where the drugs are being sold, my child knows. Come on now. Come on.
Or they might have their hands in it.
But and you know what? I want to pose this question, being a critical thinker. If the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot's child came up missing, they were selling drugs in her community on her block are President Biden's block. Okay. Mayor Daley's block. Okay. Kamala Harris's block after they get in office. Do you think that would be tolerated?
No, it wouldn't be tolerated. Not at all. They because they're politicians. They're politicians. It's a difference. We ordinary people. These are politicians. These are people in power. You know,
with their bosses, brother. With their bosses.
To a certain point, because we pay taxes. We pay their taxes and we vote them in. That don't mean nothing to them. Even though we're their bosses because we pay taxes, we ain't the one to sign their checks. You know what I'm saying? But it's all like the political power. It's power. They had the power to cut that red tape. They had the police go up in there and run up. They had the power to go to this judge and like, I need a warrant right now to go up in there. Or they might just have that police officer to the power just run up in there anyway. They got power to do that.
Is that fair to me? Is that fair? If that's fair, if President Biden's daughter is missing and you find her in 2 days and the Bradley sisters have been missing for 20 years.
No,
is that fair, brother?
It's not fair. The government doesn't play fair. But we know it's not fair if Mr. Larry Hoover is still locked up and they breaking the law to leave him locked up. No, it's not fair. The government doesn't play fair at all. We got to be on their terms, and we're on their land when it comes down to the court system. It comes down to the police. No, they're not playing fair at all. They're not playing these political prisoners fair. So I wouldn't think they're going to do anything fair at that point.
Okay. So I got to have some status. So I understand what you're saying. You know, the Bradley sisters are still missing. And you know what? There are plenty of people that are missing because there's a group of people that harvest organs.
Our organ.
Why have they not been found? I'd like to ask you that.
Because that's big business too. You know how much they want for the organs? Just a kidney, just a liver, just a heart, and hours, but our skin color, because they make it mainly targeting. If you see, it's our people that's being coming up. A lot of our people coming up missing. We have dominant genes in our organs, in our body, like more than I want to say I don't want to just say white people or Caucasians. And once again, I'm not prejudiced at all. I have white friends and plenty of them I grew up around. But I'm just saying they harvest our organs because look at the sports that we play. Look at we're more dominant in sports. We're more dominant. So why wouldn't they want a black person's organs? Why wouldn't they want it? Because our DNA is kind of different. It's more dominant than theirs. Our organs. I mean, it's crazy, but that's pretty much what I got to say about that. I mean,
I would like to ask you something, and I think it's barbaric, and get your opinion. Not only our body part, our organs are being sold on the black market. There are cannibals out there. And you know what? You probably say, I'm not crazy. I did research.
Mm-hmm.
Cannibals out there that enjoy eating human flesh. Yeah, I know there's somebody saying, what? Yeah, I did the research. It's not something. What do you think about a cannibal? There are people that are cannibals out there. And there are people that drink blood because they believe that it gives them the essence of their person. What would you say about a person like that? And they sacrifice babies.
Well, I think those are the type of people that need psychological help from a psychiatrist, so they need somebody to talk to. That's pretty much what I can say about that, because I think that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Only way I might eat somebody if we stranded on an island or stranded on a piece of ice or something, and somebody got to die so somebody can eat to stay alive. Other than that,
there's a book called Alive. You know where people they crash on a mountain and they can't get no help, and they had the result to cannibalism. I remember
that's all I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my opinion on that, I think that's kind of crazy because I can't just look at nobody like, man, I just want to just, you know what I'm saying, put them on some bread or something, or drink his blood, or eat him. I think that's kind of crazy, but you know, that's the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of craziness out here and a lot of different stuff, and everybody's not different. I mean, everybody's not the same. Everybody is different. So yeah, it might be it is a group of people that want to eat people, and that's just the world we live in, man. It's crazy.
It's grotesque. It goes against the very sanctity of what the Creator. That's weird. You know, it's bad. I'll go back to the police, man. I know I've been interviewing you for a long time. What I want to ask you is about the police. I heard you make the statement that we should have more black police in the black community. Yeah, but what I would like to ask you is, there is a code of silence, okay, in the police department. And I want to ask you, how would that minimize the code of silence in the community by a police force that has a lot of African Americans, if that exists within their culture? Can you help me to understand?
How would the code of silence minimize? Say that question one more time.
How would the code of silence minimize criminal activity and things that are wrong if there's a code of silence on the police department, putting more black officers in the community? Help me to understand.
Because you might get that one black police officer that cares about his community, that cares about people in this community, instead of you having somebody that's not from your community to come in there and police your community. The more black people we have, because if you look at Chicago, count how many white detectives running around here. Count how many white, they outnumber the black people.
We had people like, once upon a time, like Two Gun Pete. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
Okay? And Glove that hated his own kind. And you know what? To prove something to, I'm not going to say his master, to his sergeant, he arrested as many black people as he could. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, and he watched Rome, and you had certain people get away with things. Are you saying that it would eliminate the code of silence? I would minimize.
It would never eliminate the code of silence. But I think we could put that one person in there to think about the code of silence and think about him loving him helping his people and his community rather than a code of silence. You know what I'm saying? If he see this police officer did something wrong to this black person, he might not want to go with the code of silence and help his person, help that person because he's from the community, or he's or he doesn't think it's right. Like every police officer is not bad, but I really think they need more people from the community to police their community to have better results.
Are they bad if they see? Are they bad if they know it's a code of silence and they don't do anything to break it? Are they bad? Are they good? Are they still good?
They're just as bad as.
I'm saying if they know that there is a culture of a code of silence, and they don't try to do everything in their power to eliminate it and bring attention to it, are they bad?
If yeah, because by law, if you see somebody, if you with somebody committing,
you just said it was some good officers, and you just said that there's a code of silence within the Chicago Police Department. Are they good if they know it's a code of silence and they don't do anything to try to do to forbid it by bringing it to the attention?
No, they're not good. They're just as bad as the person that broke the law. The police that broke the law. If you don't say nothing, speak up to it. Just like if I go commit a crime and I'm with this person, and the law gonna prosecute me and have me in jail and questioning me because I was with him. So
but you said it was some good officers. I'm trying.
Yeah, it is some good officers.
I'm trying to understand if they know that the culture is that way, shouldn't they be doing everything to try to destroy the culture and bring it to the people's attention?
They all they can do is bring it to attention, but it's more bad police officers than good, and I believe in that. So they could never destroy it because that law has been set in place since back in the day. The blue code of silence. But what they can do is like is shed attention to it in light and let people know that person not going to be with that crooked police officer that did what he did, but he might lose his job for it, or he might be on the beat alone, or they might do something to him.
I was just trying to figure out how they good, and it's known that on the police department there's a code of silence. How are you good and you know that there's a code of silence and you see it going on? You still good until you get put into that situation. Just because you own a police department, in the police department, and you know it's a code of silence, that don't mean when a situation occurs, you're going to go with it. You know what I'm saying? You good until a situation happened. And then when the situation happened and you still with the code of silence and you knew he shot this person illegally or wrong, now you just as bad as that person if you keeping up the code of silence and not doing what's right. When you became a police officer, you became and swore in to upheld the law. So if he doing something bogus and you don't call him out on it just because of code of silence, you just as bad as him. You can't accuse nobody of being good or being bad until they commit a bad act. He's good he's good all the way up to the point when he see the crime and then he doesn't say nothing about it. He's just as bad as the one that did it. But he's good all the way until they commit a crime and he says something about it. Okay, he's one of the good ones. The majority of them are not going to say, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that's why I said it's more bad than good.
The majority of them are not going to say anything, brother, because you know what? You can get caught in a crossfire. Well, you know what I mean by crossfire? You can go somewhere and ask for assistance, and they just don't show up. They show up.
That's why I said you get beat by yourself, or you might lose your job, but they'll do something to make you lose your job.
They might tell a bad guy, you know what? Take care of him because he on his payroll anyway. So,
right.
You know, I want to ask you about Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford. They probably ever had to deal with some bad and terrible correctional officers. Some correctional officers treat inmates so bad. And you know what? And it's like they're taking it out, the pain that they had from their childhood out on them. Okay? And they talk to them like they dogs, some of them. Should correctional officers have body cams on? Not one body cam, but 2 body cams. So they can never say it won out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them that turn them off and then try and say one went out. You can't turn both of them off. Both of them ain't went bad at the same time. And I think that would be better to protect both on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think they should have 2 of them because there's a lot of them that'll turn that camera off, and then you will know if it's technical difficulties with that camera if both of them go off because they both ain't going off at the same time.
Now, should they go for the police too?
Yeah, it should go for the police too, because if they turn one off, the other will still be on. But if they turn one off and they say, "Oh, my camera, something went wrong, the camera went off," they probably might believe that, but both of them ain't gonna go off at the same time.
No. And you know something? This is another question I had to think about this question. Do you believe that a police officer and a correctional officer should have their own private insurance. So when there is litigation that takes place, it is not put on the city, and it will make them think twice. Damn, if I'm sued, I'm out of my job and probably couldn't even get insurance from another carrier because a hairdresser has to have insurance. A nail person has to have insurance. Shit, a police officer and a correction officer have to have not the insurance of the city. I'm talking about their own insurance. A private eye has to have personal insurance. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
And why?
I think they should, because that will hold them accountable for their actions. If they had to come out their check instead of the people in the city and taxpayer money, they would think more about what they're doing before they do it, or before they commit a crime. Because whatever they're doing to be sued for, they're committing a crime. If they kill somebody illegally or whatever, they're going to think about that before they just shoot somebody for no reason. Or back in the day, like I was saying, going around robbing people. I was in a situation where the police was going around robbing people. You know what I'm saying? So, and they got sued. So if they're being held accountable for their actions and they got to pay for it out their pocket and the city doesn't have to pay, they make them think twice of doing something crazy. Yeah, they should have private insurance.
You know, I'd like to ask you something, and I want the audience to forgive me. I wanted to ask you, what type of message do you have to women prisoners, like in Illinois, Dwight exists, okay? And what type of message do you have for women prisoners? I should have said, that's really should have been my second question. There are women that are locked up. And I know for a fact that are being used for the sexual pleasures of men that exploit them, guards, correctional officers that exploit them. Would you have a message to the people that are exploiting the queens and to the lady prisoners?
My message is if pretty much try and talk to somebody higher up. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, I really have no message for them about that, because that's a situation you wouldn't know what to do unless you was in it. That's what I think. Situations like that, you don't know that person's situation, or you don't know what's going on in that jail where they could talk. I can't really say a similar message, but we'll stay strong and try to talk to somebody it's always a boss over the one that's over them. You know, it's somebody that can help you. Just reach out to them, right? You gotta find somebody that's gonna listen to you. But that type of situation, I really can't speak upon that, because I think it's up to the individual. You might have that person that don't want to say nothing and just want to keep going through it and get their time and get out. You know what I'm saying? Do their time and get out. But that's a situation I really can't speak upon and tell them what to do, because that's a critical situation. I don't want to tell nobody, oh, do this and go talk to somebody higher up or something like that, and it'll be repercussions behind that. You know what I'm saying? So that part, I really don't know. All I can say is pray on it.
No, I just wanted to get the women prisoners, and you know what, they're often overlooked, some type of encouragement, you know, and because I feel they ignore it. I feel women prisoners are ignored to a certain degree, and they, you know what, for whatever their circumstances are, my heart goes out to seeing a woman in prison. It's like, I don't know, man. All I can say is stay prayerful.
Right, that's what I said.
You say Jesus, Yah, or whoever, and you know what? And I'm going to send a message. The correctional officers are people in the facility that are doing you wrong. Pray. You know, you can't do that, but you can put a prayer on them, and you put a prayer on them. You know what? I guarantee you, if your heart is right, Allah, God, or Yah, whoever you say is your God, will deal with. Believe me. That's what keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
You still a woman, no matter how that correctional officer makes you feel. Okay? No matter how that food supervisor makes you feel, how that clerk makes you feel. Women, keep your head up. Okay? That's my message of encouragement.
Right, all I can say is pray on it. In the situation behind the wall, either pray on it, like keep God first, man. And I always do. I keep God first, and I keep it in situations that I've been in, and I knew it was kind of difficult and it didn't look good. I keep God first, and I keep pushing. He always show up and show out. So,
man, I'm looking at this interview. I'm gonna have to chop this up, bro. ain't nobody gonna look at this for no over 2.5 hours.
Yeah, chop it up.
I'm gonna have to chop it up probably in 30 minutes or something like that. I don't know, but you know what, man? You know what? Something is eluding me. What final message would you like to leave about Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover? Why should they be free? Is it because they are political prisoners? Why? I named all the bad things other people have done, like there was a bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan. And this nation says do not kill innocent people. Okay? How come nobody was prosecuted for that? I would like to know that. They say do not kill innocent people. And there was an atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and I forgot how come nothing was done to them? Why, brother? Come on, brother. Tell the people. Tell them. You know what I'm asking you to help me to understand.
It's the government. It's the government. That's all, the government do what they want to do. The government don't even abide by their own laws. Because if they abide by their own laws that they set, Mr. Hoover will be free right now. So they do what they want. And they do what they want. And they do what they want when they want to do it. So if they want to go drop a bomb over here on China, they're going to go do it. It's the government is the biggest gang there is.
You say not the ones behind me, they're the biggest gangsters.
No, the government is the biggest gangsters. The government is the biggest mob. You know what I'm saying? It goes down to state, local. You know what I'm saying? And the police is the biggest mob. And one of the biggest mobs in your community. They're gangs too. They operate like one. But the government is the biggest gang there is. You know what I'm saying? They rob, steal, and kill.
What would you say about our civil liberties have been down? This turning into another hour. Damn. I'd like to ask you something, brother. What would you say about the Patriots Act? I'm not going to 9/11. You know what? You can believe what you want to believe. But what would you say about the Patriot Act? And everybody is being monitored since the Patriots Act, where they know what library book to check out, they know where you go, they know what your credit card is. You go to Google, you go to Facebook, they know anything. The NSA is monitoring you. Homeland Security is monitoring you. What would you say about that? Do you think that that's justified that the NSA and Homeland Security, probably even watching us now, is monitoring this society where they can even use your television? And you think your television is off, but it's always on. So what? And your phone is following you around all the time. So what would you say about the Patriots Act and the NSA, Homeland Security, FBI? And you know what? What would you say about that? I'm not trying to say nothing. I'm trying to get you to explain to the people. You know, and I hope that you can give us clarity. Are they good for us?
And the Patriots, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It's a bad thing because it's an invasion of privacy. It's a good thing because they could prevent another. Well, 9/11 wasn't anybody formed. That was within. That was the government. They kicked all that off and saying that the plane ran into the building and the building exploded before the plane hit the building by the bottom infrastructure where they said it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing.
So you're saying the NSA monitoring us consistently, it could be a good thing. Okay.
It could be a good thing to stop terrorism.
Okay.
And that's the only way I can say a good thing. The bad thing about it is I don't want to be sitting up in the house talking and on my phone and I'm sitting there in my like one day I bought a brand new TV. I don't even watch it, big TV, and I'll be in my room and the TV goes on. I'm like, man, I didn't turn this TV on, and I go in and I turn it off. I asked my daughter and told her about, the TV on. She comes like, Dad, it's back on. I'm like, man, like that's an invasion of privacy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't turn it on. It came on by itself, and it was on a while before I knew it was on. That's a bad thing. You don't know. Like I don't want no. I need my privacy, even in my own home. I don't want you sitting there listening to me or watching me while I'm getting dressed or anything like that. People are strange. You don't never know who's on the other side of that camera or he might see a girl or he might be a pervert. That could be a very bad thing because some people, even though they're political police or whatever, they have psychological problems and stuff. And you might have that person watching you and might end up at your home and because he's been watching you for years and try and come up in there and he knows everything about you and commit a crime, try and rape you or whatever. That could be, in that way, it could be a bad thing because psychologically, you don't know who's on the other side of that camera. That female might end up at your doorstep because they fall in love with you, watching you. Be a bad thing, a good thing because it can stop terrorism before it happens. But who wants somebody sitting there watching them all day? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm saying one thing. The NSA is probably laughing. I'm pretty sure right now at what we're saying. They probably say, "Shit, we block them most of their transmission anyway."
Right.
He probably said, they do us something.
Hey, and we're not doing much. We're not doing nothing to talk about what you're doing. If all this stuff nothing be happening, we wouldn't have nothing to talk about.
And they probably laugh. But I want to share something about somebody. I know they're watching. There's a mosque called Masjid El Farouk in Chicago. Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with 89th and Stony Island.
Yeah, I am.
Brother, they were taking pictures of us when we were going in the mosque to pray on a Friday. Okay? And the imam knew, but the imam said we don't worry about it. They stand on private property. When you're on public property, you don't have no expectation of privacy. Okay? They're taking pictures of us while we walking in the mosque. And people told the imam in my mosque, where I go in, man, Mosque El Fateh on 47th Stony Island. Somebody was inside of the mosque taking pictures. I told the imam, he said, don't worry about it, man. You don't worry about it. He said, we don't do nothing against the law anyway.
Right. So why be worried about it?
And you know what? But now he got a ban saying, you know what? Our mosque is under surveillance. And he said, no one will come in here with no instruments to record anything.
They're not supposed to.
I take any pictures, you will be sued. Okay? You will be sued. So their mosques that have been infiltrated. And I'm gonna give a quick commentary and give you some finishing words to Joe Biden. That left Afghanistan. Good. But Joe Biden, I clap for him. Because you know what? He left more Muslims immigrate and come to the United States of America. And hopefully come to Chicago, which could change the society, not for the bad, but for the good. We pray 5 times a day. We follow Ramadan. We believe in one God. Okay? And so Joe Biden, he is all right, as far as I'm concerned. So you know what? Muslims that want asylum from Afghanistan, come on to the United States of America. You know, you can help to make this a better nation. You know, but I'm not saying do nothing violent. You ain't gonna do that anyway if you're praying 5 times a day.
Right.
I want to give you a clap. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to say, I'm speaking on growth and development on everybody, and I'm speaking on Jeff Ford as well, but I'm targeting this towards Mr. Hoover, for the gangster disciples and anybody out there that's saying his name. Do not, I repeat, do not. We ask of you to do not associate him with any pitchforks, with anything gang related. You know what I'm saying? In order to free this man, and he's changed, you have to change along with him. If he's on growth and development and he's changed, how can you steady do crime and put his name in vain? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? How can you put his name in vain? Don't have him associated with him. If you associate his name, associate it with something good. Associated with something giving back to your community. Associated with helping this old lady across the street. Associated with stopping this young brother from off the corner, or sending him back, helping him go back to school or getting a job. Associate his name in a positive way, because the more negative breezes or the negative stuff you're doing out here, you giving these people more ammunition to keep him within. Mm-hmm. So words are powerful, are so powerful, and it brings energy. Like those type of words and stuff associated with his name is negative. We try to bring everything positive to the light, because that's what he is now. He's not a gangbanger. He's not a gang leader. He's a father. He's a brother. He's a grandfather. He's an uncle. You know what I'm saying? And we have to respect that. We have to respect that, because if we steady keep saying these words, we steady keep saying these words, and those are negative words coming towards him, you already putting a thought in the person's head that doesn't know him. Because when you say gangbanger, what do you think of? All type of negative stuff. Yeah. So if we're trying to, you're hurting the cause, you're hurting his situation. If you keep saying gangster disciple, he gangster disciple, to you folks, you done killed this person, they robbed this person, you want to rob these people, you on the corner selling drugs, and you associate with him, that gives the government more power to keep leaving him in jail. And he's not that. He's walking development. It's a power. It's a powerful righteous movement that helps their community and save our children. And this is like the same concept of uniting in peace. He's not that anymore. So quit associating him with everything wrong. And if you really want to help, and you're gonna keep saying his name and not do, and we're not telling you nothing. We asking of you, because if you love him like you say you do, that's what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna keep shining his name in a negative situation. You're gonna show people this is what Mr. Hoover has done for me, like me, make me put down the guns, get all stop selling drugs. Educated my mind and wake me up to be aware that being a father is everything to me, and the streets is nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just free my father. Go get a T-shirt and go to the website freemyfather.com, I believe, and the Larry Hoover Project. If you need anything to know what's going on with him, and Hoover Enterprise. Google all that. Google all that. But
Go ahead.
But as far as these brothers, man, let them rest, man. These brothers are trying to get home to their family. And the more and more you keep doing negative stuff and bringing their name into it, that's what the media picks up. And the media picks up, and then that shows everybody, like the judge and everything. It's like, it's nothing changed. It's nothing changed. And these brothers are not giving orders to nobody. Nobody to commit any crime. How? And they locked in this jail. So if you're going to commit a crime, do it in your name. Do it in your name. In your name. Don't do it in their name. You know what I'm saying? Because these brothers want to get home to their family. And the more and more you put Mr. Hoover and Mr. Jeff Fort name down in vain, use their name in vain, the more you hurting their chances of getting out. So if you love them like you say you love them, you're going to do right. You're gonna be righteous in your way of presenting yourself as growth and development. If not, man, don't claim it.
Yeah.
Do it by yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? This message is for them, and this is for future political prisoners and past. It's for the future when you can look at this later on in your generation, at your time, and relate to this is what was going on in our time, but you could probably use this. You know, I'd like to ask you, have 30 to 3 hours. Hey man, I just love to ask questions.
Hey, and I'm trying to answer to the best of my ability. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm gonna think about I'm critical thinking. I'm gonna think about what you're asking me to answer.
I hope we all have a panel discussion. I'm involved. Gator won't reach out to me, man, but you know what? This is my first guest on my show. Never invited me on his show. It's okay. You know what? Because you plan and our life plans and our lives is best fun. You know. So, you know what? Wind it down. Man, we're on 3 hours. I gotta wind it down. What I want to ask you is, a lot of times you don't think that people know what's going on the outside that's in prison. But people talk. Would you have a specific message for Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford and the people locked down in these institutions? First, Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford, would you have a specific message? People talk, brother, and word will get back. You know.
Mr. Larry Hoover, Mr. Larry Hoover. First of all, I want to tell you I love you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do whatever I can until it's over, and then some. And what I'm here, you are my purpose. You gave me a purpose to fight for you, and that's what I'm keep doing. No agendas, no nothing behind it. I mean, whatever I can do, whatever I can say, I'm in this fight to the end. They're gonna have to knock me out and drag me out for me to give up on you, Mr. Jeff Ford. All praise due. I feel the same thing about you and everybody else that's in there unjust. You know, it doesn't stop with Mr. Larry Hoover. You know what I'm saying? I just got unconditional love for him. It doesn't stop with him, but he's my main priority. But I'm gonna keep fighting for all y'all. I'm not in it. I'm in it for him, and he's my reason for being in it. But this goes beyond him. After when he put his boots on the ground, it's beyond him. I'm gonna stay and fight, and I'm gonna fight just as hard for the rest of them.
And the message for the brothers from Statesville Prison, Cook County Jail. Let me see, Muddy Waters, White Prison.
Hey! Quit being a number. Quit being cattle being herd. Once you get out, wake up and realize that they expect you to go back and do some crime. That's why every time you get a felony, you get more and more time. You're nothing but a dollar sign to them. You're nothing but a dollar sign. And if you realize right now, in that type of game, it's nothing but death and jail. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Quit being a number. We're numbers to them. When we wake up and stop being numbers and start uniting and doing positive stuff and helping out the community, you're no longer a number, you're a threat. And I'd rather be a threat than a number because I don't want to be locked up for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? But quit being a number, man, because that's all we out of them. That's why in some of these jails, the conditions are horrible. You know what I'm saying? The conditions are horrible because they don't care about you. So you're gonna go to jail and hurt your family. You're gonna go to jail and your kid, you're not gonna be a father to your kid, a father to your daughter, and so you not being in that family where the crime might continue through your kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want. They want to take the father out of the family in the neighborhood or in a black neighborhood, so that the effect goes on down to your kids. You know what I'm saying? But right about now, you just realize you're nothing but a number. You're a number, a dollar sign in them. That's it. That's it. They don't care. They don't care. You don't have nobody caring about you when you go to jail, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you get a support team, on the outside, you lucky to have one, because some people, once you go to jail, they forget about you. You know what I'm saying?
No question. No question.
Quit being a number. Quit being a number. Mr. Larry Hoover, it wrote that blueprint, and that blueprint shows you to be a man and be a part of society and be productive and take care of your kids. It's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of life, and that's part of the reason why they don't want him out, because of his teachings of turning people over to not commit crime and do what's right. Look in Google all over the world how they feeding neighborhoods and how they cleaning up the garbage and how they trying to put their community together in the name of Mr. Larry Hoover. You know what I'm saying?
That'll affect their dollar line.
Their dollar line. You know what I'm saying?
God praise the lawyer.
They hear it. But this is what they gotta know. This is what they gotta know. You can knock me off. You can keep them locked up, and how we teaching ours, it's gonna be another one up. So once you knock them down, it's gonna be another one to stand up for us. You knock them down, it's gonna be another stand up. You're not gonna stop nothing. You can slow it down, but you're not gonna stop it. You're not gonna stop it.
No. I hope that Mr. Hoover and Mr. Ford, they get the opportunity to even hear about this broadcast. I don't know if they can get to them. I don't know. Only out.
They hear about it.
Huh?
Oh, they'll hear about it.
Only out loud knows. And,
It's funny.
Again,
Only a lot knows.
say your information.
Only
Then
a
I'll
lot
give myself
knows.
a plug. Okay, go ahead.
My information, you can look me up, and I always post everything I post on my page, Antonio McClinton. It goes is from Mama Miss Hoover or any. I get no information. I get all information to support the movement from the family. I don't. And so, or you could go to Larry Hoover. The Hoover Project. You can look that up, and you can find out anything that you need to know. And once again, Hoover Enterprise. Google that and see what he got going on. And grab a T-shirt just for support. Free my father T-shirt. Free my father just for support. And it might look good on you. Go to George, your jeans, or whatever you have on. You know what I'm saying? Go out in the club with it, whatever. It's just a popular T-shirt right now. Free my father. Let us see you got support for us. Because if it was your father, your grandfather, or whatever, I'll buy your T-shirt. We'll buy your T-shirts. We'll support you. You know what I'm saying? So go to freemyfather.com and get a T-shirt, man. And it's at a discount right now. It's at a discount.
How much is it, brother?
I think the discount, and don't quote me, I really think I know it's a discount right now. I think it's like $35.
You're going to send me the link so people can get to it.
Yeah.
Send me the link. Not tonight, though.
But it's good quality material, and it's going to a good cause, man. It's going to a good cause to support and help us pay for these attorneys, and it's going for a good cause for the freedom of Mr. Larry Hoover, a righteous man that needs to be out in his family, man. And if you help us and you help us, we'll help you. We're gonna continue to fight and help everybody else. Free everybody. Free them all. Free them all that's in there unjust and who they have in there. They breaking the law to keep them in there, because that's what they're doing. The lawmakers are breaking the law to keep our people in there. And these are the type of community leaders that we need in our community to help us, to help talk to these shorties, to slow them down a little bit. Tell them like that. Education is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And one more, T. Lamar, the Chicago Stars. T. Lamar Hood, he has basketball. He's growth and development too, and he keeps kids off the street too. You know what I'm saying? These are all teachers that we come up to be a positive movement for our community. Like every kid he has in there to play basketball. There's one kid that's not off the corner. There's one kid that's not going to shoot somebody. There's one kid out there not gangbanging. There's one kid out there not selling drugs. So, you know, I want people to support him too, because he's part of the movement too, right along. And he's doing right because he's part of growth and development. And he's helping kids, saving our children. And that's what we do.
Okay. I'm going to give myself one plug. That's okay, right?
Yeah. It's no platform.
You know what, man? I'm just having fun.
Yeah, I'm kicking it with you.
I'm having fun. You know what? I'm going to ask people, if you enjoyed this, to share this on social media. And if you can make a donation, I am working to make podcasts or whatever this is, shows like this, to talk about things that are relevant. You know, that don't mean I won't talk about something that's fun, but I'm more or less interested in talking about things like this. And please make a donation, and we have a video production company called Shaymar Media Productions. We film videos, TV shows, and you know what? That's what we do. And hey, I'm gonna put his links in there. And to Miss Hoover, hey, we're doing everything we can, and I hope Miss Hoover gets the opportunity to see that.
And one more thing about her, you will be so lucky as a man to find a woman as strong as that, going through to stick with you. You know what I'm saying? To stick with you, to go through what her husband is going through, and stay with you for all them years. That's a strong woman. She made me reevaluate the women that I'm dealing with, that I deal with, and hold them to their standards. I want to hold them to their standards, at least, if not all of it, half of it, the loyalty. I mean, like, she's an incredible human being, for real, to be sticking with somebody like that, man. You got to love her. You got to love her. You know what I'm saying?
We got the other question. Oh my God, I'm getting tired now. It's 3 hours. Tell us about your corporation and money, and corporations that run the politicians with the money. Come on. I got gas.
What? I mean, tell her what corporations?
He said he wants to know about the corporations and money, and corporations run the politicians with the money.
I'm not exactly.
He's saying that the politicians are controlled by people. Like if I give a $5 donation and the corporation give $100,000, who's going to have more influence?
The person with the $1,000. $100,000. They gonna have way more influence because that was a campaign contribution to them. So, but then that's what you know. You got the wrong person in the office. Then you know what I'm saying. If they trying to have more influence because another person then donated more money.
Mm-hmm.
So that then you know. Well, I don't want to vote for this person next year. Then you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother, you know what? You know what, man? know what the strange thing about me and him? It's like once me and him get to talking,
I didn't even know what time it was. We started like at 8 something.
it's like we known each other for years. I can't explain
You know why? You know why?
why.
When you woke, you got plenty to talk about because you see everything wrong that's going on. You know what I'm saying? When you woke.
Hey, how did you think I thought of so many questions?
Stay woke out there. I'm telling you, like, especially for these little kids, these shorties, man. Y'all just don't know, man. You know, I used to be one of y'all. I used to be.
We ain't going into the other hour, man.
I'm serious. I used to just stay woke, man. For real, man. Quit being a number, for real.
That's the last thing I'll say, brother. I'm glad that you know what I got the opportunity to meet you.
Yes, sir.
I hope you share this video on your platform.
I'm sharing it all the good. You know what I do.
Please get them to make some donations because I'm trying to build a platform.
Right. You know what I do, so it's going to be viral in a minute.
If it's our lives with.
Yes, sir. Come along.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, brother, I got to get off. Okay, this the longest interview I had.
You're going to have to break this down.
All right, brother. So, like I say, tomorrow, give me the links so I can send the people to the links to buy the t-shirts to your organization and all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go get you some tickets for the concert with Yee and Drake. You can go on my page and I post it every morning where you can go get the tickets at Ticketmaster. Go get the ticket.
When?
It's December 9th.
Okay.
It's in California. And I put the link up every day. It has the old man face on it, and it tells you where to go get the tickets at. Go get you some tickets. It also supports the cause. You know what I'm saying? You have a good time. You'll be at something really epic, something that Mr. Hoover put together and created peace beyond two brothers. You know what I'm saying? He created that peace beyond them two brothers, and that's just two influential brothers that could shed awareness on his situation. And look what he did. He made two superstars stop their feuding and come together. So just think what he could do for our community.
So you know what, me being a host of the Underground Railroad, all praises to Allah, I'm asking people that follow my platform to share this and to help him out financially. Both of them. Okay? To support him and to support his cause, which would be our own cause. I believe that our people will get more justice from Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford and the powers to be that are not serving the interests of the people. They're serving the interests of people that are powerful and elite, and they don't give a damn about us unless it's re-election time. Okay?
Right.
They win their election, they give you a Wildwood pop. There's a celebration and some chicken wings, but downtown they having steak.
Ooh, with a Wildwood too? Man. You talking about drinking right there, that Wildwood pop.
But downtown, they eating steak and drink. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, y'all remember that. You know what? They will serve the interests of the people and have a voting block that would be uncontested.
Yes, sir.
Be as strong as the Anti-Defamation League, which I'm not putting down the Anti-Defamation League. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I got Jewish friends.
Huh?
I got Jewish friends.
You know, that's a good thing. But I'm saying is they would hold the politicians accountable, damn it, if they wasn't looking out towards the best interests of the people.
Yes, sir.
Voting on the system that they would build that would impact the people by taking thousands to the polls and encourage. And they would have them young brothers going back to school where they can jump on Joe Biden's plan about the renewal act, and they'll be in the solar energy and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I go, man. I'm going with the Ebonics now. I know
and one plug for you shorties out there that's trying to find a career and haven't found your niche yet. Look what we on. Look at your TV. Look how it's computerized. Look at your watch. Look at your phone. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the future. Cybersecurity, you can come out with a certification and make about 6 figures. So you got to, in order to make some money, you worry about making money. Go sit down and take this course. One certification can get you $150,000 a year. The test is like $350 online, probably $500 if you go sit in school. Cybersecurity is the smartest thing to do because technology is taking over. You know what I'm saying?
it's build something greater than Google.
Right, exactly. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. If you're trying to find a career, there it is, right there. I'm telling you.
No, a lot of some people that majored in cybersecurity, the Chinese majored, a lot of them majored in cybersecurity because they doing a lot of hacking, brother.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of hacking. Yeah, they're doing a lot of hacking, and that creates more jobs for cybersecurity for us. You know what I'm saying? Cybersecurity. I'm my daughter on it right now. Like, so I'm trying to get her because I'm gonna take the course and show her. So when she all through school, I could teach it to her, and then when she get out of school by senior year, she'll know what everything that's taught. Take the test, and she'll come out of school making 6 figures. You know.
Yeah, China right now is so powerful. They realize that the secret to success is not the soldier, it's the computer chip.
The computer chip. Yes, sir.
They find uncontested over Taiwan, dare that you do anything.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be quiet. I might get in trouble.
Yeah, we talking too much now. We been talking too much.
China is the juggernaut. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and you know what China is doing? China is buying up the United States, and the United States is in debt to China. And they're building. They're building out of like land-made islands. They're building them man-made islands to help. So that's the next jump.
You know that if some car dealerships buying your cars cash because China stopped shipping their chips to come over here, so they buy your cars cash just to get the chip up out of it. You know what I'm saying? I was off of that. I went and checked it out. It's true. It's very true.
The U.S. don't do nothing but bark at China. Actually, man, I don't think China is even worried about the U.S. We
Not at all, man.
Hey, man, I ain't got nothing on that ain't made in America.
From the stocks to your drawers.
I mean, how you gonna compete with China, man, and they paying people nothing? And people over here want $15, $16 an hour. But that's another story, man. I gotta get on.
Because that goes on down to your birth certificate when that you really got money when you're born. They're selling you with your birth certificate. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. You gonna open a whole nother can of worms.
Man, I gotta get off. And thank you to Joe Biden for letting the Muslims come in the United States of America. Yes. I believe in sanctuary city now. I gotta get off, brothers. All right. And tomorrow, inshallah, the Seminoles links. We might take this off. I don't. We ain't say nothing against the law anyway.
Oh.
Okay.
Check us out when we say something against the law. Tell them to quit breaking the law.
Alhamdulillah. All praises to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum to everybody, bro.
Yes, sir.
And you share this, okay?
I am, bro. I'm getting off and doing it right away. I did while we was talking, but I'm gonna do it again.
Man, I'm gonna go to bed, bro.
Like a smile, bro. Let's